Danny Jackson.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is presented by Coors Light. Aged ice cold for that pure taste of the Rockies. Reach for the silver bullet, the right beer now. And by Franklin, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball. Weather conditions at Dodger Stadium, when you see a 20% chance of rain, that's kind of unusual. It did rain here this afternoon. They had the tarp on. No batting practice for either club. You have to go all the way back to 1988. Last time the Dodgers were rained out at home. They've played 492 consecutive home games without a rainout. And Tommy Lasorda, in his 18th year at the helm of the Dodgers, a .528 winning percentage. His predecessor, Walter Alston, 24 years of 55% winning percentage. So Tom trailing a little bit there, but the Los Angeles Dodgers have had only 14 managers in 105 years as we look at Oral.
And they've had some pretty good pitchers over the years, and Oral Hershiser certainly has to be included anytime you talk about great Dodger pitchers, and he appears to be making a comeback. We showed you his 1988 season. He won the Cy Young that year. Danny Jackson, his mound opponent tonight, finished second in the Cy Young voting. And both of these pitchers are really throwing the ball well right now. And the Dodgers over the years have always been very deep in starting pitching, and they appear to be set up for another strong year.
Take a look at the Phillies dugout. They are getting ready to go home to take on the Giants, but would like to get a win. They have lost 4 ball games in a row and 1-5 on the road. As we look at their lineup for tonight, Lenny Dykstra leads off in center. Mariano Duncan will play second base and hit in the number 2 slot. John Kruk at first, batting third. Hitting cleanup at third base is Dave Hollins. The catcher is Darren Daulton, off to a good start in 1994 with Jim Eisenreich in right, batting 6th. Milt Thompson gets the call in left. He'll hit 7th. Kevin Stocker is the shortstop, batting 8th. And the pitcher tonight, left-hander Danny Jackson.
Oral Hershiser, 1990, had major shoulder surgery. This is be his 5th start of the season. 1-0 his record, a very good .252 ERA. Interesting aspect about Hershiser facing the Phillies last year against Philadelphia. He was 0-3 and really was pounded by the Phillies. One characteristic that Hershiser had against Philadelphia last year was that he walked a lot of batters. He walked 12 Philly hitters in those 3 starts, and he only walked 72 batters all year long in over 200 innings. So he didn't have good command, and it really hurt him against Philadelphia last year. Defensively for the Dodgers, Webster, Butler, and rookie Raul Mondesi in the outfield. Tim Wallach, 2-time Gold Glover. Jose Offerman at shortstop. Corey Snyder makes a start at second base tonight. Of course, Delano DeShields is out with a injury. He ran into Raul Mondesi on Saturday, and he's still not be able to play. Eric Karros is at first base. Carlos Hernandez gives Mike Piazza the night off. He makes his first start behind the plate. He teams up with Hershiser for Tommy Lasorda's battery tonight. Offerman off to a real good start in the field. 2 errors so far this year. Last night against the Phillies, this is Milt Thompson who makes a bid for a base hit up the middle. Offerman with the off-balance throw makes an outstanding play. Says he's playing with much more confidence now, and as he gets more confident and the season progresses, he should be able to maintain that solid glove work so far.
So Offerman, who made 79 errors the first 2 years, playing a better brand of shortstop this year. Here's Lenny Dykstra to lead it off. Lenny steps in at .225, having another slow April, just like last year. Scott Erickson of the Minnesota Twins has a no-hitter through 8 innings tonight. We will be joining the studio for updates, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. Jim Fregosi looking on along with Dennis Menke, the batting coach of the Phillies. The 0-1 is a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Even though Lenny's been out of the gate slowly, see the 16 career leadoff home runs, he has scored 20 runs, which is second to Ellis Burks in the National League. So he's been getting the walks and finding ways to get on base. 2 balls and a strike as Hershiser misses with a slider.
Well, that's why Dykstra's so valuable. He can really set the tone even when he's not swinging the bat well. He makes the pitcher work a lot in the first at bat. You see a lot of pitches every time he steps in there.
Bounce right side. Nice stop by Karras to Hershiser for the out. One out here, and we go to Chris Myers back at the ESPN studios.
All right, thank you, Dave. We're going to take you live to Minnesota, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Minnesota Twins, and Scott Erickson, and no-hitter through 8 innings. Jody Reed leading off the 9th for Milwaukee. The count, 1 ball, no strikes in the game, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 1 hit batter for Erickson. Let's join Dick Bremer and Tommy John of Midwest Sports Channel, and you're watching live a no-hitter in the making here on ESPN.
Just a no-hitter. We had such a horrible hitting ball club. I asked the question, did we win?
Ground ball to second baseman Chuck Knobloch. We welcome those of you joining us around the country. Scott Erickson has a no-hitter for 8 1/3 innings. Dick Bremer and Tommy John from the Metrodome. The Twins have not had a no-hitter since 1967. We go now to the top of the Milwaukee lineup. Alex Diaz. He'll be followed by Bill Spires. Erickson with 110 pitches on the night. One and one.
All night tonight, Diaz has never even looked like he might try to take the ball with him down towards Herbeck in first base.
Herbeck, and Erickson is 1 out away. Earlier this year, Kent Mercker pitched a no-hitter for the Atlanta Braves. There has never been a no-hitter thrown in this ballpark.
You don't think Erickson's ready? He was ready to pitch, and Spires wasn't even close to being in the batter's box yet.
The home plate umpire is Dale Scott. 1-0 to Bill Spires. Erickson has walked 2. He has hit 1 man. One of his walks was to Bill Spires in the 4th inning. There have been 2 well-hit balls, nothing close to a hit. Diaz started the game with a line out to center field. Spires followed that up with a line drive to Scott Leyes. Both balls very well hit the first 2 outs of the game. Now Erickson trying to get the 27th out. 3-1. If Spires should reach, Turner Ward would be next. A 2-out walk to Bill Spires. Ward on the night, 2 ground balls and a strikeout. The score incidental at this point, but the Twins are leading 6-0.
Dick Erickson made excellent pitches even when he was behind in the count. He didn't give in and just lay a fastball down the heart of the plate. He pitched tough.
Inside, ball 1. The Brewer bench is telling Bill Spires, go ahead and take second base. The Twins are not holding him on. And there he goes, 2-0.
we had a manager with the White Sox, Al Lopez, would tell the pitcher to wind up right now. If you feel better winding up with a lead and you're in the last inning, wind up, forget the runner.
2-0 to Turner Ward. 3-0. Greg Vaughn on deck. Left-hand hitters coming into this ball game hit Erickson at a .420 clip this year. And the Brewers started 5 left-hand hitters in their lineup tonight. Jim DeShays, Carlos Pulido, and Kevin Tapani looking on. Three and 1. 3 and 2. $17,988 fans with a collective sigh on the 3-2 foul tip. Now Ward asks for time. Greg Vaughn will come to the plate with runners at first and second. Vaughn playing his first game since his rehab assignment earlier this week in Beloit, Wisconsin. Class A ball. Tonight, he's gone down on strikes twice and grounded out to short. Foul, strike one. Erickson has thrown now 126 pitches. He's thrown 20 pitches here in the 9th inning.
And he still has good life on his fastball. That's good to see.
One and one. With his 3 at-bats tonight, Vaughn is just 3 of 10 this year. One and 2. Vaughn on the rehab assignment because of a pulled rib cage muscle. Fly ball left field. Alex Cole coming in. Meters going out. Cole has it. Erickson has his no-hitter. no-hitter in 27 years. The second time that the...
And that deserves a wow. ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball showing you 26-year-old Scott Erickson pitching the first ever no-hitter inside the Metrodome and the first Twins no-hitter since 1967. Dean Chance tossing that. SportsCenter will have more after baseball. And the Devils and Sabres, for those of you tuning in for NHL playoff hockey, they are in overtime when there is a winning goal. We will show it to you. Now let's send you back to the game you're watching. We'll keep you up to date on all the other games going on this evening. Stay with us on ESPN's Wednesday Night Baseball.
Thank you, Chris. Back at Dodger Stadium, John Kruk got a 2-out hit in the first inning for the Phillies, but Dave Hollins lined out. And with 1 out here in the bottom of the first, Jose Offerman is singled and Raul Mondesi is the hitter. Scoreless game as Danny Jackson will drive Offerman back to first base. Dave Campbell along with Buck Martinez, glad you could join us, and a good start to a Wednesday night. A no-hitter by Scott Erickson, the second one thrown this year. Of course, Kent Merker of the Atlanta Braves threw one right here at Dodger Stadium. Jackson looking at Offerman, and it's fouled back, and the count is 1-2. Let's take a look quickly at the Dodger lineup tonight. Butler bounced back to the pitcher. Offerman single to center. Then it's Mondesi who's hitting. Wallach, Karros, and Snyder who's playing second base. Webster, Hernandez, and Hershiser.
Danny Jackson on the mound for the Phillies. Off to a good start here, 2-0 this season. This is his 5th start of the year.
Mondesi hits one foul. Looks like it'd be out of play on the right side. So the count is 1-2.
Take a look at the Phillies defensively. It's Thompson, Dykstra, and Eisenreich in the outfield. That's their regular platoon against a right-handed pitcher. Hollins and Stocker on the left side. Duncan and Kruk on the right side. Veteran Darren Dalton behind the plate. Teams up with Danny Jackson. Jackson was outstanding last time out against the Giants. 4 hits over 9 innings through just 104 pitches. I say the biggest thing for him in that outing was his fastball. He used a lot of fastballs and threw it very effectively.
Mondesi hit on the fist again, and Danny Jackson stays ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mondesi got off to a slow start, 0 for his first 13, but has hit .352 since, and the Dodgers are touting him as possibly their 3rd consecutive Rookie of the Year after Karros and Piazza. He's a 5-tool player, has a great throwing arm. Towards short, could be 2. Stocker to Duncan and back to first, and just in time. 6-4-3, and that'll do it. We go to the second. No score.
We have just one word for the new Whopper Jr. at Burger King. Bigger. You already know it's flame broiled and fixed your way. But the one thing you didn't know is that the Whopper Jr. now has 50% more beef. And because we figured one great improvement deserved another, the new Whopper Jr. is just 99 cents every day. The new 99-cent Whopper Jr. at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place.
Welcome to Burger King.
It just tastes that way.
Every year, American business wastes millions of dollars on international calls by using the wrong long-distance company. Now you don't have to waste that money. Introducing MCI's Proof Positive Worldwide. Save up to 50% off typical international calls around the world. Call by June 30th and get 1 month of free long distance. Call MCI now and put your money back in your business.
The average person puts 9,000 times the weight of a sumo wrestler on their feet every day. That's why Dr. Scholl's created advanced insoles and inserts to give your shoes revolutionary cushioning and shock absorption. Make life in your shoes more comfortable.
It's a major breakthrough in auto protectant technology. Formula 2001 Super Protectant. It provides a more brilliant, longer-lasting shine than Armor All on vinyl and leather. And look, in the Arizona desert, Formula 2001 brought back the shine to UV faded vinyl, rubber, even leather. Get the new standard in automotive protectant technology. Formula 2001 with 50% more active shining ingredients than Armor All. Get Formula 2001 products today.
Look what's new at Sherwin-Williams. Style-perfect interior flat is on sale, just $9.99 a gallon. You'll find new Everclean and new wallpaper, too. It's all here at Sherwin-Williams' new look sale. Sherwin-Williams.
Well, Kevin Gross knows the thrill of throwing a no-hitter right here at Dodger Stadium 2 years ago against the Giants. He is one of 2 pitchers in the ballpark that is throwing a no-hitter tonight. And Tommy Green of the Philadelphia Phillies is the other. He no-hit the Montreal Expos. Darren Dalton takes a strike. And Buck, just talking about, you know, the no-hitters and the Minnesota Twins pitching. I mean, 7.4 ERA. And Erickson at one time was a great young prospect and fell on tough times.
Last time out against the Blue Jays, he really got ripped. This time out, this could be a real turning point for the Twins. You know, that was just their 8th win of the season, and they were really looking for something to get them started. And you never know, it could be just one game like that to really boost the spirits of a ball club.
2 balls and a strike to Dalton. Darren at .323, off to a terrific start. 6 homers and in the top 5 in the National League in RBIs with 19. Bouncer up the middle will get through. So lead single for Darren Dalton, the second hit that Hershiser's allowed, and the Phillies get their leadoff man on here in the 2nd inning. It's scoreless. Each side had a hit in the 1st, and Dalton begins the Phillies' 2nd with a single to center. So Jim Eisenreich comes on. 286, 8 RBIs. Always has had great success against the Los Angeles Dodgers. 466 lifetime, and he takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Eisenreich in a sometimes platoon with Wes Chamberlain. Chamberlain back from the knee injury, although Wes has played against right-handed pitching this year. 2 balls, no strikes. Orel just off the edge. Carlos Hernandez catching tonight. Buck, you talked to the Dodgers. They said Piazza with a day off tomorrow. It kind of gives him a chance to refresh himself.
Yeah, and Hernandez has been on the disabled list with a strained lower back. This is his first start. There you see Piazza sitting on the bench, not that used to that.
Right center, but Butler is right there, and Brett, who has had a phenomenal string of airless games, makes the catch for the first out.
You know, when you got a center fielder like Brett Butler, who has been in the league so long, you can really have an impact on Raul Mondesi, who's going to play every day in right field, helping him position the players. You know, you can go over the scouting reports, but you still want to get that reinforcement from a veteran in the outfield by checking with him to make sure you're playing these hitters correctly.
Here's Milt Thompson, who sprays it foul out of play. I remember Willie Mays, of course, all those years with the Giants. He used to be such a help to the young outfielders. I know Bobby Bonds talked about it when he came up, but it's like having a captain on the field or a manager on the field with that experience out there.
You know, it can get pretty lonely out there for a young player. You stand around so much, but Butler's always talking to Mondesi, reminding him where they should play. As the count changes, he will bring him over with him. If Butler moves over in the left center, he'll wave the right fielder to follow him.
Butler working on a string of 273 consecutive games without an error. That would be the all-time record. It eclipsed Don Demeter's 266, except there's a guy up in San Francisco by the name of Darren Lewis who's getting near the 330 game plateau. He's never made one since he came to the big leagues. Out on strikes goes Milt Thompson, as he might have chased a sinker diving out of the zone.
This is the pitch that's really come back for Orel Hershiser since he's regained his strength. That good late movement on his sinking fastball, that was always a trademark. Outstanding control, good movement on his fastball, and always over the strike zone. When he's on the mound, you expect to see an awful lot of ground balls put in play.
Yeah, Buck, I was thinking about the way Danny Jackson's throwing, Hershiser coming back, a couple of guys with the Reds, Tom Browning and John Smiley. I mean, it looked like a lot of these guys were just shadows of the former self, but all of a sudden seem to have found it again. Bounce to short. Offerman takes the easy play, and that'll do it for the Phils here in the top of the 2nd. To the bottom half we go at Dodger Stadium with no score.
Play. John McEnroe won 115 titles with Dunlop rackets.
Achoo! Bless you.
How will our new revelation affect his performance?
Quiet, please.
The Revelation's unique construction flexes to help you place the ball more accurately. Offering every player
All was good. Game, set, match, McEnroe.
outstanding control.
Someday in the future, every car will be maintained by Precision Tune. Every brake job, oil change, and scheduled maintenance service will be performed by our skilled technicians at prices that are the envy of dealerships. All backed by our 12-month, 12,000-mile guarantee, leaving tow trucks free to spend their time on more artistic pursuits. Precision Tune, a lot more than tune-ups.
No score as we head to the bottom of the second. Los Angeles, California. The Phillies trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. And Lenny Dykstra, we've mentioned he's a little slow getting off the mark this year with the offensive numbers, but not runs scored. He's right up there. But Lenny's starting to look beyond what he's going to do once that baseball career is over. He has become an entrepreneur as he's opened a new car wash out in Corona, California. Lenny was actually smiling today when he saw those raindrops. He knows that that'll be good for business. All kinds of baseball memorabilia there. So Lenny Dykstra's car wash in Corona, California. Attaboy, Lenny. Oh, don't spit, Len.
He's got to spit.
What do they call him back in Philadelphia? The splendid spitters of the Phillies.
Interesting, Lenny Dykstra in a car wash. You know, you talk about a lot of athletes, and there are several athletes involved in restaurants and everything else. It seems kind of appropriate that Lenny Dykstra would be involved in a car wash.
He ought to put his uniform in there about every day. You can tell he hadn't been on base yet. The uniform's too clean. Tim Wallach steps in. He'll be followed by Eric Karros and Corey Snyder. And as Buck alluded to in the top of the telecast, one of the reasons for the increased Dodger offensive output is the job that Wallach's done. 6 home runs, 19 RBIs, tied for third in the National League with Darren Dalton. And he's really struggled the last 3 years, but is out of the gate well this year. 1 strike, says Paul Runge, the home plate umpire.
You know, Wallach really tailed off with the batting average. Pretty good example there. 296 and 90. It's been downhill since then.
This will be out of play on the right side. Long way. You know, the interesting thing, Buck, is the fact that with those 3 years of averages below 225, you would think if Wallach didn't have that multi-year contract, maybe he wouldn't have gotten an invite to spring training this year. But because he had 1 year to go, he got the chance to come back and prove one more time.
And because of that, he started his work way back in November. And, well, I got one more chance at it. So far, things have gone very well for him.
The 0-2 pitch. Off the edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes. What are you doing down there, Tom? Well, sort of coaching third base tonight. He usually does that when the Dodgers are in the funk. Reggie Smith is back and manning the lines at first. He had knee surgery about a week ago. 2-2 to Wallach. No score. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Dodgers skipper down at third base tonight. Always makes for an interesting evening. Ripped up the middle, a base hit for Wallach. So Tim Wallach continues his hot hitting in April. It's a pretty tough pitch here, Buck.
Watch how he stays on that ball. That might have been low out of the strike zone, but in years past, he had been so conscious of pulling the ball. But right there is a good example how he stayed on it, took the base hit up the middle, and didn't think too much about spraying the ball the other way. He just stayed down on that pitch that was down and away from him.
So the Dodgers with the lead single. And here's Eric Karros, and he hits it hard to right. This will drop in front of Eisenreich. Good jump by Wallach, and he'll go to third. Tim Wallach read that very well off the bat and moves to third.
Well, back-to-back base hits for the Dodgers against Danny Jackson. And Dave, you were right on about Tim Wallach at first base. You really got to do your homework as a base runner. Let's first of all take a look at this base hit. Karras gets a fastball, goes the other way, but Wallach read the outfielder Eisenreich very well, gets a good jump, not really known for his speed, but a good piece of base running, and he moves into third base.
See Tommy posturing at third. down there. Looks like a cheerleader bending down on one knee. See John Kruk with the glasses on at first base. I'll tell you about that in a second as Corey Snyder steps in. Swung on and missed. Kruk told us in Philadelphia the reason he's wearing the glasses, and he doesn't really mean to embarrass Dave Hollins, but Hollins, when he cranks up the ball, Kruk says he never knows if he's going to get a slider or a sinker, and it's very difficult for him to track the ball across the diamond. He doesn't wear the glasses when he's hitting. Hollins has had 5 throwing errors this year. He can be a scattergun at times. A ball and a strike to Snyder. Corey, although playing second base tonight, no stranger to the infield. He was a shortstop at BYU. In fact, the shortstop on the 1984 Olympic team ahead of Barry Larkin. The center hit pretty well, but Dykstra's there. This will score a run. Wallach comes on, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. Sacrifice fly for Corey Snyder.
Well, the Dodgers look like they've picked up something already. All 3 of these right-handed hitters going the opposite way, and watch how Snyder stays on this ball down and away from it. Drives it deep enough to plate Tim Wallach. So Wallach gets a base hit up the middle. Eric Karras gets a base hit to right field, and then Snyder goes back up the middle. They're pretty aware that Jackson's going to work to the outside part of the plate.
Mitch Webster steps in. Dodgers lead 1-0 with 1 out. Karras aboard at first. And it's low to Webster. Mitch getting the call tonight with Snyder moving into second base. Webster a much better hitter right-handed. Last 5 years has hit .272 from this side versus .240 from the left side. Also, Lasorda noticed in the notes that Webster 4 for 9 lifetime against Danny Jackson. Runner going, and it's fouled off. So one of Lasorda's favorite plays, the hit and run. Good job of protecting by Webster, but a tough pitch to handle, Buck.
Yeah, it was a breaking ball away. Tommy Lasorda wanting to get something going here and take advantage of this and maybe put together a big inning. Take a look at the effort by Webster. The ball was off the plate, down and away from him. He gets a piece of it, fouls it out of play to protect Karras at first base.
You really do have to protect Karras. Eric does not have good speed. Jackson a long look. Loop to right center field. Dykstra on the move, and a great sliding catch by Lenny Dykstra.
Danny Jackson gets a little help from the center fielder there. It looked like Webster got jammed a bit, and this ball was dying on Lenny Webster, but look at the concentration. Watches it right into his glove, quickly to his feet, chases Karras back to first base. Talked about 2 fine center fielders in this ball game, and already Dykstra's chipped in with a good defensive play.
Here's Carlos Hernandez getting his first start of the year. Buck mentioned he was on the disabled list with some back problems. Dodgers were carrying Tom Prince, and Piazza gets the night off as Hernandez looks high. 1 ball, no strike. Carlos out of San Felipe, Venezuela. One of the baseball heroes down there, of course, Andres Galarraga. Kind of took over that country by storm with that .370 batting title last year. Runner goes, pitches ripped to center, another hit. And Karras will go to third base. The Dodgers getting some pretty good licks at Danny Jackson here in the second inning.
Well, we talked about Jackson's outing against the Giants last time out. He threw about 80% fastballs, and it appears as though the Dodgers are right up on their homework here. Another hit and run. Eric Karras on the move at first base. Hernandez gets his first base hit of the year. Karras goes to third base on the play, and now it's first and third for the pitcher.
A couple of things about the Philly pitching staff. They do not like to throw to first base, and Danny Jackson does not have a good move. We saw an incredible number last year. The Phillies, the entire year, threw over to first base 404 times. And to put that in perspective, the San Francisco Giants threw over the most time, 1,465. A little thousand disparity there. Here's Orel, and if you followed Orel Hershiser last year, he was flirting with 400 most of the season, ended up at 356. He had a terrific year. 26 for 73. So obviously not an automatic out.
Hey, look at 20 fastballs already. Jackson might have to show the Dodgers a little more inside.
Yeah, slow, according to Paul Runge. You know, he's got an excellent circle change that Johnny Padres taught him, but we haven't seen it yet tonight.
You know, you got to pitch ahead to get to that pitch. And so far, he's not been able to get that first pitch open. But he's going to stick with the fastball, it looks like.
Chop, left side. Stocker will go to first, and that'll do it. So the Dodgers get 3 hits and a run in the inning. We go to the 3rd with Los Angeles up by 1.
Murphy's young son is taken hostage.
Get him, Strider, back here! RoboCop's gonna kick your butt! Get him!
On the next RoboCop. Then
when Kelly gets wedding day jitters,
let the wedding begin.
Prue and Spence aren't so ready to give away the bride.
Well, now where do we go?
Down! Thunder in Paradise.
RoboCop at 8, Thunder in Paradise at 9, Friday on Philly 57.
Viper armed. Protected by Viper. Stand back.
Don't be caught off guard. Viper Auto Security Systems are available at One Stop Car Audio in McKee City, your source for the absolute best in car stereo and auto alarms. We specialize in installation and service after the sale. One Stop Car Audio, 6100 Black Horse Pike, McKee City, Egg Harbor Township.
Relive the excitement of all 30 Winston Cup races by ordering the 1993 NASCAR Year in Review home video. For just $19.98, you can experience the triumph at Daytona, the battle for the point championship, and the rookie season of the stars of tomorrow. To order, call 1-800-764-5441 or send $19.98 plus $4 shipping and handling to the address shown. Visa and MasterCard accepted.
And the Silver Ball at Texas O'Shea. Bases loaded, bottom of the 10th. Mets and Padres tied at 2. David Segui against Trevor Hoffman. He flies out. The previous batter was Jeff Kent. Hoffman struck him out. John Franco comes on to work the 11th. McReynolds homered earlier. Let's go back to David Buck.
Back with you at Dodger Stadium. L.A. bounces through with a run, couple of base hits, and a sacrifice fly by Corey Snyder. And Orel Hershiser, maybe not the strikeout ace he once was, but he's still up amongst the leaders all time with the Dodgers.
Well, you would think at this point in his career he might go a little bit more to the ground ball outs, but look at the list of pitchers on that Dodgers all-time strikeout board. John Sutton, Drysdale, Sandy Koufax, Dazzy Vance, and Fernando Valenzuela. He's still pitching down in Mexico, I believe, after being let go by the Orioles.
And chances are there are some scouts watching him with the way
you think we might see him before the summer's over?
But he's had the calculator out. First pitch to Danny Jackson. Had the calculator out before the game today, and it's currently going into today's action, averaging 10.42 runs per game in Major League Baseball. Jackson takes a little high, 2 balls, no strikes, and Orel does not want to walk a 112 lifetime hitter, Danny Jackson. Jackson 1 for 11 this year, and Hershiser. Buck, you mentioned the walk problems Orel had last year against the Phillies.
3 ball games in 3 starts. He walked 12 hitters. He walked just 60 the rest of the season against everyone else.
Yeah, I thought Danny would have the green light there.
Yeah, he did, but he ignored it.
Danny, put the bat in your back pocket on that 3-0 pitch, pal. Probably going to take another one. And he gets the walk.
Orel Hershiser had that surgery in 1990, and he has regained the movement, the velocity. No problems at all with that shoulder. You can see the follow through, very sound and solid, good mechanical balance there. Early on, he was just pleased to come back And then he said, hey, I'm back. I'm healthy. I got to get that bulldog back in me. And right now he's talking to himself about the leadoff walk of the pitcher. After your club puts up a run on the board, you answer back with a leadoff walk to the number 9 hitter.
Lenny Dykstra bounced out on a good play by Caros first time. Dykstra sprays it left field side. This is going to be trouble. It's fair, and it's a fair ball. Jackson will have to hold up at third as Webster does a good job of getting it back in. So a walk and a double by Dykstra, and the Phillies are in business in the third.
Lenny Dykstra didn't waste any time. He steps in, swings at the first pitch. It's a good moving fastball, but Lenny keeps it fair down the left field line. Mitch Webster does a good job playing the carom here. Danny Jackson goes around second, checks out the third base coach Larry Boa, gets the stop sign right here. It's second and third for the Phillies with nobody out. Good job by Webster going over into that corner, playing the ball off the concrete. Got it back quickly to keep Jackson at third.
Dodgers will play the infield back and concede a run, try to get it out here as Mariano Duncan steps in. Of course, with Wallach at third, anything hit relatively sharply to him, he probably can check Jackson, because Danny not a great base runner. Duncan bounced to short his first time up. Mariano off to a bit of a slow start. Does have 12 RBIs though. This is deep to left field. A hanging breaking ball, and Webster goes and grabs. Jackson will score, and Dykstra tags and goes to third, and Oro got away with one there.
That look right there tells you what Oral Hershiser thinks about this inning. He walked Danny Jackson, gave up a double to Dykstra, and then Duncan just missed hitting a 3-run homer. Watch the pitch. It's a breaking ball that stays up around the letters, and Duncan was all over it. For a moment, he thought he'd hit it out, but it hangs up in the cool air here at Dodger Stadium. Webster takes it on the warning track, but the Phillies had tied the game up with a run of their own here in the top of the third.
Buck, that might have been an example right there why the Dodgers have never had an ERA above 4 since they moved into the stadium. A lot of ballparks, that ball is long gone. Here's John Kruk. Bouncer right side. Run will score. Caros goes to Hershiser in time, but the Phillies grab the lead as Lenny comes in to score run number 2.
That's why Dykstra's so valuable there. On the deep fly ball to left field, he went back to second base and tagged up, and then the little ground ball out to first base. The Phillies have the lead. That's how you do things for your ball club when you're really not swinging the bat that well.
Phillies beat the Dodgers 10 out of 12 last year, and the biggest weapon they had, the base on balls. A very good Dodger staff control-wise walked 66 Philly batters. It's over 5 a game, and the Phillies made them pay. Hollins takes a curve low, 1 ball, no strikes.
It's an interesting combination of power and very patient hitters. You know, they scare you with their ability to drive the ball in the gaps, but then they are so patient, take a lot of pitches, wait for their pitch, and they make the pitchers really work.
Jim Fregosi, John Vukovic, the bench coach. Hollins drives one towards left. Webster over near the line, should be able to grab it, does. But the lead walk to the pitcher really hurts Hershiser. Oral not happy with himself as the Phillies have taken a 2-1 lead.
You can feel the heat. 1,100 degrees. Intense heat. The hottest.
We asked some of the hottest guys in town to trade their deodorant for new Degree deodorant.
Body heat activated.
Let's give it a shot. As your body heat rises, only Degree releases extra protection against odor.
When I heat up, deodorant's gonna kick in.
Works far better than Speed Stick.
Kicked in for me.
Switch to the stick that's body heat activated.
I'm gonna stick to Degree. I've used it. This stuff works. Absolutely.
Cool as ice.
New Degree deodorant for a higher degree of protection.
I was in town for business, and thanks to the rental car, I had time to stop by the old neighborhood. The place hasn't changed a bit.
Room for one more?
Can't be the shoes.
Want to visit your old neighborhood? Rent from Dollar. They're right on the airport, right on the money.
Hey, it's got to be the shoes, right?
Nope, it's the rental car.
Call Dollar, the official car rental company of the NBA.
After you shave, now there's comfort to the power of 3. It's soothing Edge Aftershave with 3 soothing formulas for 3 specific skin types. An aloe formula that's alcohol-free to soothe sensitive skin. Extra moisturizers to soothe if your skin is dry. And a cool vitamin E splash for normal skin. Soothing better than ever with the power of 3. Edge Aftershave skincare for men. Ultimate comfort. That's the Edge.
I don't sell houses. I sell dreams.
Why would 9 out of 10 customers recommend Century 21 to their friends?
It's a large organization, but it's also as personal as me and you.
Century 21, rated #1.
Hey, Ken, they say that during the playoffs, things get so intense, guys just start acting kind of weird. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
Hey, can you see my stick? Bottom of the 3rd inning, the Philadelphia Phillies lead the Dodgers 2-1. And this is how they did it. On the sac fly to left field, Lenny Dykstra goes back and tags up at second base. It doesn't seem like a great play, but it moves him into scoring position for John Kruk, who then hits the tapper to Karras at first base. It's a 3-1 ground out, but on the play, Lenny Dykstra scores, and that's what the Phillies did so well last year. Take advantage of all those scoring opportunities. That's why they scored 877 runs.
Of course, the great ability of Kruk just to put it in play on the ground. He noticed the infield was back. Here's Butler. Right out on a grounder, his first time up. You know, Buck, the one thing we got into about the Phillies, of course, they led the National League in on-base percentage last year, but they were also number 2 in slugging percentage. And if you're looking, maybe a reason they're struggling, they're 13th in slugging percentage. They're not getting that consistent extra base hit.
So far, they haven't been able to put together the big inning where they really bust loose with the bats and put up a 4 spot on the scoreboard.
And Butler 2-1. Phillies scoring about the same number of runs they did last year. Now, that's good, but the rest of the league is scoring at least a half a run more. So maybe it's not that. Plus, their pitching has not been very good in the early going either. 2-1 pitch to Butler. Sprayed foul. 2-2 to Brett.
Butler slopped his bat at fouling that ball off. That was a pitch that he could have driven by Dave Hollins, who's really playing in at third. Up and away from him. Look at him trying to shoot right by Dave Hollins at third base. He got the pitch he wanted, but fouled it off in the seats, out of play. Now with 2 strikes, Hollins is able to back up at third base, not that concerned about the bunt.
Ooh, close pitch, laid off. No swing, says the third base umpire, Jerry Lane. One of the more unappreciated players in baseball, Brett Butler.
Well, look at right there the comparisons with Ricky Henderson, who everybody believes is the best leadoff player in history.
Butler, that is his 15th walk in the last 18 games. He leads the National League, and you can see Danny Jackson not having pleasant conversation with himself. Put the glove over his mouth to mask his words.
Shortstop, Jose.
Dave, you pointed out the fact that the Phillies don't throw to first base very often. Danny Jackson, so far on the season, 3 stolen bases. Hasn't had a caught stealing yet. So with Butler at first and Offerman at the plate, you expect the Dodgers to try something here. Maybe play hit and run again. They've already done it a couple times. They got that great third base coach out there tonight.
Mr. Action. Butler's steal percentage has gone up each year he's been with the Dodgers. Reached up to 67% last year, which is a good percentage. Anytime you're near that 70% range, it's a good steal percentage. If you're below 60, you got to stay put. You run yourself out of more innings than you help. Jose Offerman off to a slow start this year, but 3 for 5 in this series. Butler driven back again. Offerman now 8 for 17 against Danny Jackson, so this has been a hitting cousin for Jose. Did you have any of those? I didn't. Had a lot of pitchers who were happy to see me.
Yeah, no, they weren't. I wasn't the subject of an awful lot of hitting meetings.
Don't walk them. Offerman takes the strike. So I think Jose was hoping Butler would run. And now looks down at Lasorda to see if Tom might have anything in mind here.
Well, you know what it does? It at least puts bunt on the infielders' minds. Now Butler maybe open up a hole on the infield. Offerman at the plate. Somebody's got to cover if he breaks towards second.
Strike 2 call. 0-2. So Jackson on top of the count. And
that's that slider that Jackson threw to the outside. Might have got a little help from the umpire. That ball was started out away from him, but maybe caught the corner.
Of course, Darren Daulton frames with the best. You frame that pitch and help your pitcher out. Most umpires say, hey, that doesn't influence us one bit, but sometimes.
Well, once you establish a reputation that you can bring that ball back over the strike zone, and the way you do it is significant because you can't just jerk the glove back into the strike zone. That's the essence of the word receiver.
Close at first. One of the things Daulton does so well is he'll leave the heel of the glove in the strike zone, but kind of catch it out towards the webbing and still have his glove in the strike zone.
And the umpire really can't tell where the ball is making contact with the glove. All they can see is the back of that glove.
Jammed out towards second. Duncan runs him back and gets the double play, and Butler is hopping because he got stepped on, and Offerman's hopping because he thought he was safe, and here comes hippity hopping across the field, Tommy Lasorda.
Lasorda comes across the field from the third base coaching box to put up an argument with Larry Vanover. He thought Offerman had beat the relay. Reggie Smith, the first base coach, with his 2 cents on the matter, but Lasorda makes his way back across the infield. Take a look at the play by Duncan. He tags Butler, and while he does that, he steps on his foot and then throws to first base. Bang, bang at first base. Offerman doesn't get the call. The Phillies turn to double play. You got Offerman watching the play ahead of him. Duncan throws around Butler. Vanover rings him up, and Offerman doesn't agree with the call. He thought he had it beat.
Looked like it was Easter Sunday. Butler was hopping because he got his foot stomped on. Offerman started hipping and hopping when he was called out, and Lasorda was bouncing across the diamond. Here comes Peter Cottontail. 1 ball, no strikes to Mondesi. 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Phillies with 2 in the top of the 3rd lead it 2-1. Mondesi, part of that fine group of young players the Dodgers get out of the Dominican Republic. They have the academy down there, and a lot of teams are starting to go into the Dominican. At one time it was kind of the province of Toronto and the Dodgers. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, the Blue Jays have been very successful with their academy down in the Dominican Republic and have developed an awful lot of fine players that have become big league stars.
Fouled off.
Dodgers have long been involved in the Dominican Republic. 2 more teams are really making a push to sign those young Dominican players, and guys like Mondesi now are getting a lot of attention from the younger kids.
There's the only American we know that went to the Dominican Academy, Mike Piazza. He asked to go down and played down there. Fouled off. 2-2. Dodgers, of course, with the Martinez brothers. Pedro has moved on to Montreal, but Henry Rodriguez, Raul Mondesi, Jose Offerman. There's Ramon Martinez. So they've found a wealth of talent in that small island down in the Caribbean. Full count. And they do have satellite dishes down there. They do love their baseball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. cut in on to see if it's fair or foul, and just foul into the corner. Broke a bat.
Pretty good indication of how strong Raul Mondesi is to hit a ball that far, and the barrel of the bat went out by Dave Hollins at third base. Take a look at this swing by Mondesi. He gets sawed off. The barrel flies off the bat, and it still carries about 300 feet down the line, just foul.
You know, just kind of looking from the waist down and with the socks up and everything, with that stocky body, it almost kind of conjures up some thoughts of Roy Campanella. It really does.
Yeah. You know, stocky build. Mondesi said he doesn't lift weights an awful lot. He just has naturally big legs. You know, he really runs well. You mentioned about the 5 tools. Good outfielder, strong arm, hits for average, has the power.
Got him. Danny Jackson with a burner on the outside edge, and so the double play bails him out. 2-1 Phillies lead.
Thinking about getting a pizza? Yeah. But hey, don't get up. Call Pizza Hut. We'll deliver it. We deliver everything from the Super Supreme with 9 delicious toppings to the legendary value Bigfoot. Because we've got just the pizza you want, just the way you want it, and we'll deliver it right to your door. And for the ultimate delivery, Pizza Hut announces the ultimate meat combo. The ultimate combination of 2 types of Italian sausage, thick slices of pepperoni for a huge meaty taste. One bite, and there's no going back. Get one delivered today.
Look what's new at Sherwin-Williams. Style Perfect interior flat is on sale, just $9.99 a gallon. You'll find new Everclean and new wallpaper, too. It's all here at Sherwin-Williams' new look sale. Sherwin-Williams.
Leave it to Peerless Faucet to create a shower so smart it can not only sense when a toilet has been flushed, it can also adjust the water temperature accordingly. Scald Guard technology by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
Major League Baseball Home Video presents Catch the Fever, baseball's hottest stars. Fans, baseball's most exciting players are showcased in this action-packed video. Baseball's hottest stars scorch their way through the record books as they burn up Major League Baseball. All the heroics can be yours with baseball's hottest stars.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
The Silver Bullet takes us to Jacobs Field. Indians trailing by 2 runs until Manny Ramirez in the bottom of the 12th hits a 2-run homer off Roberto Hernandez to tie the game at 7, his 5th of the year. And then with 1 out, Hernandez trying to get out of it. Mark Lewis, base hit, gets Matt Maruo home, and in a wild one, the Indians over the White Sox, 8-7 in 12. Let's go back to Los Angeles.
Well, that's Raul Mondesi sitting on the bench. Evidently, he has injured a foot. Nobody has replaced him in right field, so they're trying to make a decision whether he can continue or not. And Tom says just a second, and that means he's going to come back out there.
Well, he had his shoe and sock off and looked like they were going to tape his ankle, but now he's just putting the socks back on. Was sort of indicating to the umpire, hey, he'll be with you in just a second, but the trainer was looking at him. I think this happened in the first at bat. He grounded a ball to shortstop and was hustling down the line to stay out of the double play. Let's see if he twists an ankle. I believe it's his left foot. And then watch his reaction afterwards. Kind of gimpy as he breaks it down past the bag at first base. Dodgers have had some problems with their feet tonight. This is Butler after he got stepped on by Mariano Duncan in that double play. Offerman was called out of first base. He appears to be okay. And Mondesi making his way out to right field now.
I was reading where Gary Sheffield has been having problems finding a shoe that's comfortable for him. He said he's been going through about 12 to 14 pairs to the tongue of the shoe, and he's getting some kind of friction off it. And you never know about that equipment. Got to have good gloves, good shoes, and Mondesi also collided with the Shields on Sunday night. Came up lame in that. Didn't get as bad as Saturday night. It certainly didn't get it as bad as the Shields did. Delino's still out, has a lot of headaches. In fact, they're not sure if he's going to make the road trip with the Dodgers because worried about the pressurization in the cabin. But he's really had a lot of migraines this week. Off speed to Dalton leading off. 1 ball, no strikes. Dutch had a single to center his first time up as the average up at 333. Kind of amazing, Buck, that Darren Dalton for a long time the Phillies kept thinking this guy is going to be a great star in this league, but the first 8 years combined he only had 200 RBIs, and then look at 92 and 93.
He had so many problems with his knees. There was some concern that he would never be able to catch, but he has really worked hard on physical conditioning. He's a fanatic to get himself in great shape and overcome the problems he had with his knee surgeries.
Well, those 200 RBIs the first 8 years, 214 the last 2, and he has been a load for the pitchers in the National League. 2-2.
One thing that makes him so effective at the plate is his ability to use the whole field. He really spreads the defense out. You can't really overplay him one way or the other.
Well, tomorrow night the road to the Stanley Cup continues on ESPN. The Toronto Maple Leafs against the Chicago Blackhawks. Maple Leafs lead that series 3-2. Blackhawks facing elimination in what could be the last game ever at Chicago Stadium. Maple Leaf defense has been great lately. 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. ESPN covering the Stanley Cup. Eisenreich towards Offerman. Jose up and on, and 2 outs here in the Philly fourth.
As Offerman becomes more confident and comfortable at shortstop, the pitching staff will really gain confidence in him and subsequently will be more apt to throw the ball over the plate and put it in play.
Last year, Jose said he preferred playing on the road. Just didn't feel the pressure that he felt here at Dodger Stadium, but he's played well at shortstop this year. The bat's gone a little south, but it's good to see a guy playing terrific defense even if he's not hitting. Here's Milt Thompson. Strikeout victim first time around. Slap to Wallach. Tim playing him perfectly. He throws him out, and Hershiser has an easy fourth. We go to the bottom half. Wallach, Karros, and Snyder do.
It's Red Lobster's Island Seafood Carnival.
Come on, let's get away. Tonight we'll taste it all. Hawaiian shrimp, Caribbean tales at the Island Seafood Carnival.
Celebrate with succulent coconut shrimp. Savor one of many delicious island dinners starting at just $8.99.
Hurry before the carnival ends.
Come on in and have a ball at the Island Seafood Carnival.
For a short time at Red Lobster.
Every time the driving conditions change, the threats to your car's engine change. That's why Quaker State has engineered intelligent oil. Oil that senses those changing threats and adapts its own molecular structure to protect your engine, whatever the conditions. So, if the temperature changes, so does Quaker State. If the traffic congestion changes, so does Quaker State. The intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Get it moving.
Keep on moving.
And the Silver Bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Phillies 2, Dodgers 1. Tim Wallach will lead it off for the Dodgers. Already singled tonight. Tim on the left, 1993. Notice where his hands are to start out. Up high above his shoulder. 94, different stance. Watch the swing. Big uppercut swing. So he went to work and tried to level out that swing. Dropped his hands down right about the letters. Got the flat swing. This is Sunday night when he homered on a high breaking pitch, and it was always the high ball that gave him a lot of trouble. Tim Wallach went to work way back in November to try to regain that hitting stroke, and so far it's really working for him.
Ripped and fair to the corner. This will be extra bases. Wallach around first and heads for second with a stand-up double, and the Dodgers are in business here in the fourth.
Dave, there was a time where you could pound Tim Wallach inside above the belt. Dalton set up inside. They want the fastball in there, but look at how he gets that top hand over. He really got on top of that ball and hooked it down the left field line. Nothing like quick results to make you a believer in a new stance or a new approach at the plate. Reggie Smith, the hitting coach, has to be very pleased with the way Wallach has gotten out of the gate this year.
It's Tim Wallach, who's played more games at third base than any other active player in the major leagues right now, may be in the process of revitalizing the career. Here's Eric Karros. Think he'll try to go to the right side here?
Yeah, I think he will. He got a single to right field the first time up. Feels pretty confident about hitting it that way. He's thinking about it. You can see his approach.
And Jackson going away. 1 ball, no strikes. Dodgers got an RBI from Corey Snyder in the second. Phillies came back. A walk to Jackson, a double by Dykstra, a sacrifice fly by Duncan, and a bounce out by Kruk produced their 2 runs. Two balls and no strikes. Like Offerman, good numbers against Danny Jackson.
He must be pretty confident he's going to get something away from Danny Jackson. The Phillies are playing him really around toward right in the outfield.
3-0.
Take a look at the outfield defense for Philadelphia. Lenny Dykstra on the second base side of center field, and then Jim Eisenreich way over toward the line in right. It's almost like a left-handed pull hitter out there.
3 balls, no strikes to Karros. And wide, ball 4. And while Karros goes for a walk, we take a walk back to our studio.
All right, thank you, David. We'll check in on Stanley Cup playoff action. Devils and Sabres scoreless in overtime. Stefan Richer, Dominic Hasek the save. Hasek and Brodeur outstanding in the net. The teams are scoreless. They're going to the second OT. Playoff hockey tomorrow night. The Leafs and Blackhawks on ESPN. Game 7 will have the Bruins in Montreal on Friday night. Let's go back to Los Angeles.
There's a guy that was a number 4 round draft choice of Buffalo in the National Hockey League. Opted for baseball instead. Oral Hershiser. Here's Corey Snyder. Strike called, even though Dalton boxed it up a little bit. I think Darren took his eye off and was looking at the runners, but he got the strike call anyway.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll see that movement there at second base, and it'll be a distraction for the catcher. And a late movement on the fastball and kind of clanked around on his glove a bit.
2 aboard, nobody out. Snyder sacrifice fly in the second inning to produce the Dodger run. Jackson looking for the double play grounder. Low, and it's 1-1.
And they call for a breaking pitch. The one place you know that it'll give you trouble is down in the dirt. So Dalton, not really a classic block there as he stayed up, but he gloved it. It was a little short hop, kept the ball right there at home plate.
Well, that's the one thing about Dalton with all those knee surgeries. He is an excellent receiver on balls around the strike zone, but if he does have a fault because of the knee surgeries, he doesn't really drop down on the knees to block pitches. He's also extremely durable, plays about 140 to 145 behind the plate every year. That one almost got through the wickets. 2 balls and a strike. Did he grab that, or did that get the umpire?
I think he got a piece of it. The thing about Dalton is anticipation. You've got to really anticipate, and you can see that he didn't really get all of it, but he got enough of it to keep it right at home plate. Raises his glove just a bit. He was really lucky that ball didn't stay down and scoot back to the backstop.
On the other side of the coin, Danny Jackson has allowed only 1 hit in 26 at bats with men in scoring position. So good versus evil here. 3-1. We got the good numbers for the Dodgers and stingy Danny Jackson. He's in trouble now at 3-1, though. He pitched 3 balls, 1 strike. Those 1 for 26 is going to disappear. Wallach at second. And Karros at first. 3-1 pitch on its way to Snyder. Runners go. Broken bat up the middle, a base hit. Wallach will score. Karros to third, and the Dodgers have tied it at 2.
Tommy Lasorda has really been aggressive as the third base coach tonight. That's the 3rd time he started runners. That's a 3-1 count. You don't often see a hit and run on a 3-1 count. You'll oftentimes let the hitter have the discretion of taking or swinging. But it's a hit and run off the end of the bat. Bat shatters, but Snyder sneaks it through the infield. Danny Dykstra on it quickly, and look at Tommy Lasorda. He likes coaching third base. Way to go, guys. They have been very aggressive all night long on the bases. They've started runners. They've cashed in a couple of hit and runs, and Corey Snyder picks up an RBI. Johnny Padres out quickly to talk with Danny Jackson, makes his way back to the dugout.
I think I know what John may have been talking about. I was visiting with Pod before the game, and he goes, you know, Davey, he says, you got to get ahead. You got to get ahead 0-1. And it might have been what he's telling Danny Jackson. You can't pitch behind. He walked Karros on 4 pitches, fell behind Snyder 3-1. Here's Mitch Webster. Dodgers poised to take the lead here in the 4th. We're tied at 2. One ball, no strikes.
And there's that pattern again as he falls behind Webster. He tried to get the slider to the outside part of the plate, but missed with that. Well, when you pitch behind, you really limit yourself to the number of different pitches you can throw. Cut yourself down to a fastball. Breaking ball missed.
2-0.
I think more than anything, Dave, this is the scenario that has led to all the balls flying out of the ballpark, to the hitters having a real hot April, pitchers falling behind more often than not, giving into too many hitter counts.
Well, Dave Duncan, the Oakland pitching coach, was talking about that very thing. 3-0. Said everything in baseball is predicated on the count. If you're going 2-0, 3-1 all the time, hitters can diszone, as the right-hander looks like Jeff Juden up in the pen. And ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Well, that'll drive a pitching coach crazy. A couple of walks in the inning. Walked Karros, and now he walks Mitch Webster on 4 pitches. And Johnny Padres, who pitched for the Dodgers, knows the value of pitching ahead.
Carlos Hernandez. Are my eyes deceiving me, or did we see just a little bit of rain?
And it's starting to rain again here.
1 strike to Hernandez. Had a single to center his first time up, and had a pretty good whack at Danny Jackson, but he is ahead 0-1. Danny Jackson has thrown 14 pitches in the inning, 11 of them out of the strike zone. 2 of them that he threw in were base hits. And this ball is fouled off. 0-2 the count. Tommy Lasorda shouting some encouragement. Nothing in 2, the count to Hernandez. Got him. Big strikeout for Danny Jackson, and Hernandez walks back.
Now Lasorda's going to come down the line and talk with Oral Hershiser after we check out this pitch. A high pitch up and away from Hernandez, and that is a big strikeout. Bases loaded, nobody out. Hernandez trying to make contact. That's not exactly what the third base coach had on his mind.
All you lip readers out there, hang with them. So Hershiser steps in. Karros, Snyder, Webster, the runners. 1 ball, no strike.
If you're thinking about a squeeze play, it's really difficult to do with the bases loaded because you have the force out at the plate. Hershiser, a very good batter. Dave mentioned the fact that he flirted with 400 last year, can put the ball in play. But your chances of squeezing, you have always the option of that force out at the plate.
Looks to be out of play. 1-1 to Orel. Looks like Danny Jackson is reaching back with everything he's got right now, Buck.
Yeah, there are certain times in the game when you have to get that strikeout. He got Hernandez to strike out. Now what he'd like is that little tapper back to the mound.
2-1. Nice stop by Dalton. Sliders, this seems to be rolling. It doesn't seem to be a lot of bite to it.
Yeah, it hasn't been real snappy. You can see that it's kind of like it's muscled. It's not really fluid coming out of his hand. There's a look at his line. 6 hits, 3 walks, 2 of those coming in this inning.
He was taking all the way. 3-1.
There's a good example of a pitcher having a pretty good idea of how to cash in this at bat. Hershiser squared around with no intention whatsoever of bunting the ball, but he rattled Jackson to the point where he threw a ball outside.
Full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Butler awaits on deck with the sacks loaded with Dodgers. Got it. Good pitch by Danny Jackson, and another key strikeout for the Philly left-hander.
Not very pleased, the third base coach. Hershiser couldn't pull the trigger. That ball's right down the middle. Tommy Lasorda had bases loaded, nobody out, and they haven't been able to take advantage of it.
Enough to drive a man to eat. In Lasorda's case. So it's up to Butler. Ball saying shot a fastball in the inner part. I was looking away. 1 ball, no strikes to Butler. Brett leads the National League in base on balls. Picked up his 20th back in the 3rd inning. Strike call, 1-1. Butler throughout his career, as we look at Karros at 3rd. Snyder, the runner, at 2nd. And Mitch Webster at 1st. Butler in his career has been about equal versus left-handed and right-handed pitching, as Butler fouls it off. 1-2. Never been too intimidated by the southpaws.
Now he's got good coverage out over the plate. You know, his game is away, so he can hang on that ball out away from him. Against Jackson, hasn't fared too well, just 230. 12 strikeouts. Jackson would love that number to go to 13 here.
Right back to Jackson, and Danny Jackson, who has been the stingiest pitcher with men in scoring position in the National League this year, bails out of a bases loaded, no out mess. We're still tied at 2.
Wood has 4 wheels, luxury, value, performance, comfort, safety, and satisfaction built right in. It's a terrific deal from John Kennedy Chevrolet Oldsmobile Geo. Like the sleek Oldsmobile 88 Royale, or the comfortable Oldsmobile Silhouette, or the all-wheel drive Bravado with Smart Track and ABS brakes. Make the best of your driving experience and your buying experience.
John Kennedy Chevrolet Oldsmobile. We do things differently.
The 1994 Kindle Auto Plaza Dodge Caravan with air conditioning, automatic transmission, and dual airbags at just $249 a month is an exceptional value. But then again, the 1994 Kindle Auto Plaza Ford Aerostar, similarly equipped, featuring a smooth ride at $249 a month, is an exceptional value too. What to drive? Compare and decide. Where to shop? Easy. The Kindle Auto Plaza in Cape May Courthouse, where you can drive with the CAP plan and get free scheduled maintenance, whatever you decide.
Attending a series of classic big league games at baseball's most legendary ballparks. Stay at the same luxury hotels as the visiting ball clubs. Hang out at famous sports bars. See the world's most famous cities. You can even make it to the Hall of Fame. Discover Sports Tour's ultimate baseball road trip. Call for a free brochure. Seats are going fast. Call now.
Silver Bullet takes us to Oakland. Red Sox and A's. Terry Steinbach trying to tie the game. Billy Hatcher had driven in a run earlier for the 1-0 Boston lead. Hatcher makes the catch here. Geronimo Barroa is coming home, and he is out. It's still 1-0 Red Sox in the 5th. Down the coast a little bit in Anaheim. Mike Devereaux, 4th inning off Chuck Finley. The solo homer is 4th of the year. Ben McDonald trying to become the first 5-game winner in the American League. Let's go back to Dave in Los Angeles.
Thank you, Chris. Even ball game here as Danny Jackson got out of a mess in the bottom of the 4th. It is raining, folks, at Dodger Stadium. Kevin Stocker drives one, but look where Butler's playing him. Playing him perfectly, almost like a little leaguer. Well, Danny Jackson certainly kept himself very much alive in this ball game in the 4th.
Bases loaded. He got 2 strikeouts and then got Brett Butler to hit the tapper back to the mound and strands 3 Dodgers. Well, what a good job by Danny Jackson. I wonder if they saw it.
Staying high and dry. As Will Rogers once said, it never rains in California, but once in a while the dew floats away a few bridges. Jackson drew a walk his first time up. Looks at a strike, 1-1. That's innovative, isn't it? Let's see, we got the cheeseheads in Wisconsin. What could we call this guy? 2 balls and a strike. Butler again positioned perfectly for the 2nd out. This week on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, the Boston Red Sox travel down to Anaheim to take on the California Angels. Mo Vaughn, Scott Cooper helping the Red Sox to a great start. Tim Salmon, Chili Davis leading the Angels. Rookie sensation Brian Anderson, who pitched his 3rd victory yesterday, goes for the Angels. That'll be 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. The Red Sox and the Angels. Here's the pest, Lenny Dykstra. He has bounced out, doubled, scored a run. Uniform's still too clean tonight, Buck. With this rain, he's got to get down and start doing some diving.
No head first slides or nothing yet. Made a sliding catch in the outfield.
Pigpen. Lenny. Remember he and Wally Backman, the partners in grime when they were with the Mets. Strike called. 1-2 as Orel dropped the hook over and Hernandez dropped the hook. Got the strike anyway. Padres have won 4 in a row, trying to make it 5. Cubs have the worst record in baseball. Strike 3. Got him with a swing back on the inside corner. So Hershiser comes out and has a strong 5th. We go to the bottom half, tied at 2.
I was driving down a road, and to my right, there was a rather deep pothole. Pow! I survived. That's a problem. You want to prevent potholes. DuPont's technology can make a road which will last longer. The chemistry that we use to modify asphalt is similar to the chemistry that we use to make other products. We can change the molecule so that it can be used in perfume bottles, roller skates, bowling pins. We can make golf balls that spin better. That changed the game of golf. That was my idea. I feel like I've accomplished something, I guess.
What tire do you trust in the wet? A tire that removes over 2 gallons of water per second from under the tread. The all-season MX-4. Another engineering splash from Michelin.
We have just one word for the new Whopper Jr. at Burger King. Bigger. You already know it's flame broiled and fixed your way. But the one thing you didn't know is that the Whopper Jr. now has 50% more beef. And because we figured one great improvement deserved another, the new Whopper Jr. is just 99 cents every day. The new 99-cent Whopper Jr. at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place.
Welcome to Burger King.
It just tastes that way.
Introducing Tiger Shark personal watercraft. They just naturally get people excited.
The stars of golf and entertainment come together in the City of Lights. Senior legends hit the jackpot at the Las Vegas Senior Classic, Friday afternoon through Sunday, only on ESPN.
Well, that Philly fan is touching all the bases. Maybe looking for consideration for next year's ESPY is one of the great signs in baseball. 2-2 tie here as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Jose Offerman, Raul Mondesi, and Tim Wallach to hit against Danny Jackson. Jackson ahead with a strike. Offerman with a single and bounced into a double play. Luke foul. Jackson ahead 0-2.
Danny Jackson has made an adjustment with his arm angle. He's raised it up somewhat, and he believes that has allowed him to be more consistently in the strike zone and give him a little better slider. That delivery right there is very reminiscent of the way he pitched for the Royals in Kansas City. There's a good slider. Catches Offerman.
Offerman frozen, so Danny Jackson has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters.
Dalton set up on the outside. Jackson goes back door, catches the big part of the plate away from Offerman, but he couldn't pull the trigger. He thought it might have been high.
We were just talking about how the slider was rolling. That one had some snap to it. Mondesi 0 for 2, a double play and a strikeout. Bounce towards short. Stocker with a big hop. On to first and 2 outs. And that youngster Kevin Stocker has made a big difference in this Philly infield.
Boy, he sure has. Last year he came up halfway through the season, hit .324 with the bat, but what really impressed Jim Fregosi and his coaching staff was the way that Kevin Stocker looked at home at shortstop. Instinctively, he knew all the plays. He always remembered how to position himself at shortstop, and Jim Fregosi himself, a former shortstop, was really impressed by Stocker's play second half of the season.
Here's Wallach. Tim having a good night, 2 for 2. Well, between Fregosi, Boa, and Dennis Menke, 48 years in the big leagues as shortstop, and every one of them sings the praises of Kevin Stocker. Wallach, don't think he got enough of it, though. Dykstra gobbles. Dodgers are gone in the 5th. We're dead even as we head to the 6th.
Polish a whole car in about half the time with new Turtle Wax Instant Foam and Shine, the first foaming car polish. It's so much easier. With ordinary polish, you have to wipe, wait, and rub. With new Instant Foam and Shine, you just foam and shine. A mirror-like shine with long-lasting turtle wax protection. It's never been easier or faster. So why wait? Polish your car in about half the time with new Turtle Wax Instant Foam and Shine.
The game. Some just play it, others own it. The ones who own it see what no one else sees and know what no one else knows. Nobody knows the game like Topps. Topps gives you the players you want, the stats that matter, and pictures that tell a whole story. Own Topps, and you own more than a card. You own the game.
Every year, American business wastes millions of dollars on international calls by using the wrong long-distance company. Now you don't have to waste that money. Introducing MCI's Proof Positive Worldwide. Save up to 50% off typical international calls around the world. Call by June 30th and get 1 month of free long distance. Call MCI now and put your money back in your business.
Get it moving. And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Keep on moving. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Top of the 6th inning, all tied up at Dodger Stadium. Henry Rodriguez moves into left field defensively because Raul Mondesi hurt his foot. Right here you can see him jogging down the line in his last at bat, but he hurt the foot initially in the first at bat, and he has taken it into the clubhouse. That left foot causing him his problems. Mitch Webster, who started in left field tonight, moves to right field. So Mondesi's out of the game, and Rodriguez replaces him.
Mariano Duncan bounced out, hit a sacrifice fly. 0 for 1, takes a strike from Oral Hershiser. 2-2 tie. Dodgers about hit the Phils 6-3. 0-2, a good slider.
Well, that's that breaking ball that Hershiser got down and away. Last time up, Hershiser threw Duncan a hanger. This time up, goes down and away with the breaking ball. And has the wanted results. There he straightens him up with a fastball.
Yeah, that's... I hate that. He throws the hook away and then comes under the chin. No fair.
Now he can go to either side of the plate.
A little too fat with that one. 1-2.
You know, that's one thing that Hershiser was so good at. Straightening up hitters without hitting many batters. He could move you off the plate with that moving fastball, buy some of the outside corner. I think that's an art that you don't see very often anymore. Pitchers coming inside and not hitting the batters.
Breaking ball fouled off left side. We know there's been so much made about, you know, talking about the good old days with Drysdale and Gibson, but saw some numbers in Stats Inc. this year. 1965, when some of those guys were in their heyday, about a half a batter a game was hit, and that's exactly what it was in the National League last year. So no more, no less. Ron Karanowski pitched in that era.
Well, they could pound you inside without really hitting you, but you were never very comfortable diving out over to get that outside pitch.
Got him. Good sinker. And down goes Duncan. 2 strikeouts in a row for Oral Hershiser. And that is 4 on the evening.
Well, we thought we'd have a pretty good pitchers matchup here tonight with Jackson and Hershiser on the mound. And right there, Hershiser throws that real good sinker ball. Late action. Duncan goes down. That's the 4th strikeout. And both of these pitchers appear to have found the command.
Johnny Kruk 1 for 2 plus an RBI tonight. Steps in. Every time you see John Kruk, it's followed by 3-something. Bouncer right side and finds the hole again. He is just a hitting machine. Saw some numbers on Kruk over the last 5 years. You talk about consistent. Only 1 month has he hit below 300 in the last 5 years, and that was 299 in August.
Well, you'd never use a John Kruk hitting video to teach hitting. But let me tell you something. If you could hit like him, you'd make a lot of money. He hits balls all over the ballpark, on the ground, line drives in the air. He just knows how to hit. He knows what it takes, stays back, doesn't have a real classic swing.
Collins towards right, but Webster's got it in range and has it in his glove for the out. Well, the other thing Kruk does so well is he keeps his hands back, and that's what all the great hitters do. He may be out on the front foot, but the hands are always in that great hitting position.
You can remember the great Roberto Clemente.
And Aaron.
Step way in the box, and those hands are still back. He hadn't committed with the hands and had so much left in his swing, even after that big stride.
A lot of shots of Henry Aaron, too. He was way out on that front foot, but boy, the hands were right back there ready to lash out. Here's Darren Dalton looking at ball one. Darren has singled and struck out tonight. Dennis Menke got Dalton to use the whole field a couple of years ago, and that really helped him. It used to be Darren felt like he had to pull every ball to hit a home run. He can go left, center, straight away anymore.
Two very solid seasons, driving in runs.
Not only that, but he's kind of the leader on this baseball team. Larry Anderson put it best last year. He said, when Darren Dalton speaks, we listen.
And he's not a guy that says an awful lot. He's pretty quiet and just goes about his business. He leads by example most of the time, but as Anderson said, when he talks, you pay attention.
3-0 pitch. You got a green light, but Queiroz playing behind the runner. That was a good defensive positioning by the Dodgers. Queiroz was playing back. We go to the 6th, 2-2.
Monroe Sensatrack, road sensing shocks and struts. Designed to give you extra control during a swerve. Extra control over rough roads. Monroe Sensatrack gives you both extra control and ride comfort automatically. Monroe Sensatrack, like 2 shocks in one. Call 1-800-STRUT now for a Monroe Sensatrack dealer near you.
Thinking about getting a pizza? Yeah. But hey, don't get up. Call Pizza Hut. We'll deliver it. We deliver everything, from the Super Supreme with 9 delicious toppings to the legendary value Bigfoot. Bigfoot! Because we've got just the pizza you want, just the way you want it, and we'll deliver it right to your door. And for the ultimate delivery, Pizza Hut announces the ultimate meat combo. The ultimate combination of 2 types of Italian sausage, thick slices of pepperoni for a huge meaty taste. One bite, and there's no going back. Get one delivered today.
Welcome back to Los Angeles for ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball, presented by Coors Light. The young ladies all huddled up. A rather cool evening in Los Angeles. And it's a 2-2 to tie.
Down the bottom of the 6th. Let's look at the last play, last inning. Harris playing behind the runner, 3-0 count to Dalton, and it pays off. He wasn't holding Kruk on. He wanted to play defensively appropriately to defend against Darren Dalton. You can do that when you've got a control pitcher like Oral Hershiser on the mound, because you know he's going to execute. He gives you a game plan, says I want to play Dalton this way, and you know that he's going to make his pitches. As a result, they were able to strand that runner there, playing behind Kruk on a 3-0 count.
Oral trying to get the mud out of the shoes. Eric Queiroz will try to give him a lift offensively. Been aboard twice. Queiroz, the Rookie of the Year in the National League in 1992, staggered a bit last year when Piazza grabbed all the headlines, but they make a pretty potent duo. Dodger farm system finally starting to pay off after some very barren years.
Look at Dykstra on the left field side of second, and then Eisenreich way over toward the line. Big gap in the alley.
Lifted towards Kruk. Should be an easy play for John in foul territory. One pitch, one down. Dodgers 6. Well, Johnny Kruk, everybody in baseball is so happy to see him back. 18 radiation treatments he had to undergo, and Buck, you were saying, talking to some of the Philly people, they just seem to say he's getting stronger every day.
Yeah, when he first came back, he was probably a little bit ahead of himself, but I'm sure getting back with the ball club was some good therapy for him. And now, each and every day, they see him getting stronger. We can see his bat getting a little quicker, and he's starting to get over the treatment.
Snyder loops it in front of Milt Thompson, and that'll be a base hit for Corey Snyder. Milt was really playing deep, and Snyder hit that off the end of the bat.
You know, when you have a power hitter up at the plate, they take a big swing and then hit it off the end of the bat. And the outfielder's first reaction is back. And then Milt Thompson had the long run. Plays it off his glove, keeps it right in front of him. Snyder has a one-out single.
Corey wants to talk with Reggie Smith. Figures he might have missed a sign.
Well, Tommy Lasorda over there at third base has been flashing hit and run all night long, so Snyder wants to check with Reggie Smith.
Well, not a bad guy to do it with. Webster, a good contact hitter. And again, they figured Jackson doesn't have that good a move, but Reggie having a long conversation with Corey. If he gets that long, you generally say, just look at me, I'll wink at you if it's on.
Or he'll mouth, go.
Go or stay. Pitch to Webster, a ball. Buck, I remember my father was my high school baseball coach, and we had some guys that never could get signs, so he finally got to the point where he would do all the things with his hands, but if he put one foot in front of the other, that meant run. That was about as simple as you could get it. Runner goes. Pitch bounced towards Duncan. They may get two anyway to Stocker. Back to first. Nice double play by the Phillies. 4-6-3. Got a good one going at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Tied at 2.
Get it moving.
Keep on moving. Oh, yeah. Come on. Sing it, sing it. Yeah.
And the Silver Bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
When it comes to your financial future, Fortis can help protect you and those you love. Fortis, a worldwide financial services company, $46 billion strong. A powerful choice for mutual funds, life and health insurance, employee benefits. A name you can trust around the world and right in your own backyard. Fortis, solid answers for a changing world.
The Energizer battery. It keeps going and going.
Hey, get a load of this. Last week they announced we're getting a new office manager. This week, little Miss Ambition here gets a Mercury Tracer. So, obviously to impress him with her little no-frills, downsize ideas.
That's ridiculous, Frank. Besides, Tracer's a Mercury. It's fully equipped. It's room comfortable.
Yeah. Just wait until the new office manager gets an earful of me.
Actually, Frank, she just did.
Mercury Tracer. It's the Mercury of small cars.
2-2 as we go to the top of the 7th. Philly defense hasn't played too well this year, but nothing wrong with that inning-ending double play.
Third double play of the night. Watch Duncan with the quick shovel to Kevin Stocker, and he dances out of the way of Corey Snyder onto the outfield side of the bag and fires a strike. Danny Jackson has been down in the strike zone. The infielders anticipating the ball put in play, and they've turned 3 double plays.
One thing they look for in the middle infielder is the quick feet. You saw how quickly Stocker got out of there as Hernandez gets his cage rattled with a foul off the bat of Eisenreich. Carlos. Do you have any recurring nightmares from those buckets?
Yeah, I think I've got a case of whiplash from all of the years of getting hit in the mask right there. Eisenreich fouls it straight back.
For strike 0-2. Nobody ever has any sympathy for the catcher.
Oh, no. Well, they got all that equipment on. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, right. We may see him before the night's over. Piazza not playing tonight, but certainly available to pinch hit. Eisenreich. Good play by Karros. He's been sparkling defensively tonight. Speaking of sparkling, what do you got in mind, Chris Myers?
Well, how about this, Dave? The Silver Bowl takes us to the Kingdome. The Yankees scored 5 runs that were forced in on bases loaded walks and another run because of a hit back with the bases loaded. Then with the bases loaded here, Jim Leyritz, a grand slam off Bobby Thigpen. So the Yankees score their first 10 runs on just 2 hits, and Scott Kamenecki has that lead. Let's go back to Dave.
How come we didn't get a shot of Lou? Ripping phones out of the wall. Here's Milt Thompson looking at a pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Oral Hershiser started this inning with only 65 pitches, averaging just over 10 an inning. He has been efficient against a team that's very patient generally at the plate.
Well, when Hershiser is on, he is always around the plate, and the infielders are always aware that there's going to be a ball put in play. Karros has been outstanding at first tonight. Makes a fine play on that ball, and another ground ball.
Corey Snyder gets his first chance of the evening and is equal. First time Corey's played second base since 1992. 4th time in the career.
Well, of course, they've had to patch things up at second base. Jeff Treadway played last night. But Corey Snyder gets the start. Former shortstop. He's played mostly in the outfield the last several years, but there makes a routine play on the ground ball to second.
Both teams heading east after this one. The Dodgers go to New York, start a 3-game series there, and the Phillies home to entertain the Giants. 1 ball, no strikes to Stocker, who would like to get on to get Jackson up and out of the way this inning. Worst case scenario, then you get Lenny Dykstra leading off the 8th. Hershiser's retired 14 of 15, and Oral, a good fielding pitcher, throws out Stocker. So another 3-up, 3-down inning for Oral Hershiser. We go to the bottom of the 7th from Los Angeles, tied at 2.
Back when we started making tires, most Americans stayed pretty close to home. Well, then the car came along and highways got bigger and better. And in time, people could actually drive from sea to shining sea. And through it all, we made tires for just about any car anybody might use to discover America. Kelly Springfield, America's oldest tire company.
Foot Locker carries all kinds of shoes because there are all kinds of people. Foot Locker now carries New Balance because all kinds of people are looking for a perfect fit. Running, walking, or tennis. New Balance. Your size, in your width. Now at Foot Locker. New Balance for the perfect fit. Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Tonight, somewhere amongst the important documents, the catch of the day, the tools, the toys, there is one package more priceless than all the rest. The golden package. It must be watched over, and come what may, it must complete its journey as promised. But which one is it? No one knows which one is the golden package, so every package will be treated as if it were.
Alternative math. What do 1 crust sandwich, 1 order of hash browns, and 1 hot coffee add up to?
$1.99.
At Burger King, just $1.99 every day. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place. It just tastes that way.
Hey, Ken, they say that during the playoffs, things get so intense, guys just start acting kind of weird. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
Hey, anyone see my stick?
Well, we came in expecting a pitcher's duel. You don't always get what you expect, but so far it's lived up to the billing. Danny Jackson and Oral Hershiser.
Leading out for the Dodgers.
Dodgers have out hit the Phils 7-4. We're deadlocked at 2. Carlos Hernandez, a key out for Danny Jackson back in the 4th inning when Jackson, a tie game, bases loaded, nobody out. Struck out Hernandez, Hershiser, and got Butler on a comebacker. Strike 1 to Carlos. Got a hit his first time up. Hernandez hit left-handers well last year, 287. Seeing his first action, and he has a base hit to start it off here. So Jackson got a fastball up in the zone to a high ball hitter, and Hernandez spanks it up the middle.
Well, that's almost the same pitch that Hernandez struck out on in his last at bat with the bases loaded, but this time he gets up on top of it. Watch the approach. Top hand, drives it right through the infield, and now he's set up the bunt situation for Oral Hershiser.
Case here where Lasorda probably has considered pinch running for Hernandez, but he knows if he does that, then he's got to put Piazza in the game, and he might want to save Piazza for a more advantageous time. Fouled out of play by Oral. So you run the calculated risk. You don't pinch run for a slow runner at first base. But somewhere down the line, Lasorda figures he might get to use Piazza in a spot with a chance to win the game.
A couple pretty good pinch hitters on the bench right there. Chris Gwynn and Piazza.
Oral can get tricky at the plate because he squares around, and that's a good bunt on the right side. Kruk will go to Duncan. Sacrifice 3-4, and Hernandez down to second. Excellent bunt by Hershiser.
That is so tough when you've got both the corner infielders bearing down on you, but Hershiser deadens it right off the end of the bat. Barely gets onto the grass. Kruk has but one play, and that's the first base, so Hershiser does his job and moves Hernandez down to second base. Perfect sacrifice bunt.
Well, Oral will get congratulations from his mates. Terrific bunt by Hershiser. These two clubs have played 3 games. Every one of them has been decided by 1 run, and this one is nip and tuck as well. They've had a few Donnybrooks over the years. Of course, they had the infamous Black Tuesday here that we televised on ESPN. The Phillies rallying from an 11-1 deficit in the 8th inning. Lasorda will never, ever forget that baseball game. Butler takes high. 1 ball, no strikes. And they had a 20-inning affair in Philadelphia last year. These guys have played some wingdings against each other. Butler with a walk to show and 3 trips. 2 comebackers to Danny Jackson. Base hit down the right field line. Here comes Hernandez to score. Butler will turn and hold at second, and the Dodgers take the lead 3-2.
Brett Butler took a gamble. He was guessing inside with Danny Jackson and got that pitch. They were playing Butler around toward left. But watch how he opens up the front side and hooks it down the first base line. Kruk can't come up with it. It's a double, and the Dodgers take a lead. That's just a case of a hitter guessing with the pitcher and saying, okay, I'm going to take one shot right here and see if I can cross him up.
Dodgers 3, Phillies 2. Offerman swings and misses. Strike 1. And you got to be careful of Butler. Second base with 1 out. He will steal third, and this is the ideal situation. Jackson looks around back at Stockard. Offerman 62 RBIs last year. Most by a Dodger shortstop since Bill Russell many years back. So he was a very clutch hitter for LA last year. Butler goes, pitch taken, throw, and not in time. Butler has stolen it.
Good base runners like Butler really like to steal third. You can't hold them as close. You can get a bigger lead. Watch how he jockeys for the lead. Jackson never stopped Butler. Dalton has to hurry his throw as Brett got a good jump and the throw is high. Butler with a big stolen base, and now that draws the Philly infield in.
You don't think Tommy would squeeze here at next pitch, do you? Low outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, he's been playing St. Louis Cardinal baseball all night long, hitting and running 3 times.
Tommy ball. I said the squeeze. I looked up, the count was 0-2. Not as likely when you have 2 strikes on you. Shot foul left side. Looked like Butler was coming on contact. Contact is a play where it's a calculated risk. The runner at third base takes an aggressive lead. And you can see Butler, the minute that ball's hit, Brett's heading for the plate. And if it's a line drive at an infielder, you're just doubled off. But it's a calculated risk.
It's a gamble right now, but they've got a 1-run lead. They're trying to build that.
Base hit center field. Butler scores and the Dodgers lead 4-2.
Jackson got ahead of Offerman and then tries to come inside to him, but Offerman fights it off. Butler knows it through the infield. Tommy Lasorda coaching third base, enjoying himself now as the Dodgers have a 2-run lead. Speed can do so much for you.
Really can. With the infield in, that opened up that area for Offerman to hit through. Stocker might have had a chance on that ball if he were playing deeper. Henry Rodriguez fouls it off. He's batting in Mondesi's place. Larry Anderson gets up in the Philly bullpen. Well, we talked about Danny Jackson's ability coming in. Batters 1 for 26 with men in scoring position. The Dodgers tonight are 4 for 10. Offerman the lead. Right call, 0-2 to Rodriguez. Henry's done a nice job of filling in. Of course, got the call when Darryl Strawberry entered a rehab center. Rodriguez was ticketed for Albuquerque, and he's been platooning with Corey Snyder for the most part in left field. Got him on a slider, so quick work of Henry Rodriguez.
It's the 5th strikeout for Jackson. It's that slider away from Rodriguez. Danny Jackson has thrown a few good sliders here in the later stages of this ball game. Early on, he didn't have that real snap on the slider, but it's come around for him.
Wallach has hit the ball hard all 3 times. He drove Dykstra to the 395 sign his last time up. Outside, Jackson working his final inning due to lead off. In the 8th, sure Jim Fregosi, trailing by at least 2, will be pinch hitting. Bottom part of the order has done some damage for the Dodgers tonight. Kind of nitpicking at Danny Jackson. Straight call slider. Karros in the 5 spot, on base twice. Snyder on base twice, plus a sacrifice fly. Webster a walk. Hernandez a couple of hits. Jim Fregosi has not liked what he's seen here in the 7th. Two balls and a strike. See Wallach's numbers in the cleanup spot, and that's just about when the Dodger offense really jumped in gear. Backdoored him 2-2. See if Offerman right run now with 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
It's a good time to run here. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Got your cleanup hitter on. Offerman a good base runner. They've already got a 2-run cushion. Jackson doesn't have a great move. Not going.
And Wallach fouls it back.
Dave, we talked about the improved offense of the Dodgers. Good example of it tonight. A little more balance. Wallach, great numbers out of the cleanup spot. When Piazza's in there in the number 3 hole, he's going to have a few more at bats, and he was very consistent, hitting over 300 all year long. Reggie Smith, the hitting coach, has to be very pleased with the early season success of the offense.
Deep, but I believe it's going to be foul. Boy, it's a hit a ton, though.
Take a look at this swing by Wallach. He's always had the ability to hit that ball hard. He knew immediately that he was out in front too much of that one. He says the reason he's so successful this year is he's got a good stance, a good approach at the plate mechanically, and he knows he can wait longer before he has to pull the trigger.
Runner goes. Tap slowly. Stocker is going to have to hurry. And does, and that'll do it. But the Dodgers put a 2 spot up. What does Tommy Lasorda think about all this? What do you think he thinks? 4-2 Dodgers.
Listen up. What time is it? Showtime. Do or die time. Overtime. Prime time. Playoff time. TNT time.
The most games, the best broadcast team, all the scores and highlights, and live bonus coverage beginning April 28th.
You know what time it is.
Because
nobody plays playoffs like TNT. Nobody.
In the beginning, there was competition. Competition just for survival. Some things never change. Success in today's business world demands being heard above the competition. Don't be left out in the cold.
And since 1968, I've helped thousands of men with thinning hair. If you have thinning hair, this booklet is something you should have. It covers transplants, weaving, fusion, minoxidil, and proper hair care. So call our toll-free number now to get your free booklet. You saw the difference it made for me, and look what it did for our clients. So call our toll-free number now to get your free booklet.
Kellogg's Frosted Flakes presents the K Factor. Moments ago, Danny Jackson with a strikeout of Henry Rodriguez, but Butler has driven in the go-ahead run. He is one of Danny's favorite strikeout victims. In fact, all 3 of these at one time or another played for the Dodgers. Let's go back to Los Angeles and Dave Campbell and Buck Martinez.
Mickey Morandini is leading off, pinch hitting for Danny Jackson here in the 8th. Jackson, his evening is through. Pitched very credible baseball, but the Dodgers touched him up in the bottom of the 7th for a 2 spot. 2 balls, no strikes. See Morandini's numbers on the year. Mariano Duncan has played the majority of time. Morandini, former Olympian, played in the '88 squad. 3 balls, no strikes. Well, Orel shouldn't be tired. You see the way he's recorded out. He's been very efficient. Strike called. That's a 77th pitch through 7 innings plus, averaging just a little over 10 pitches an inning. Ron Peronowski waits Morandini, this ball is not going to be caught, and it is a fair ball ground rule double as it bounces into the seats. So while Morandini lopes into second, we lope back to our studio. Chris?
Hi, Dave. The Silver Bullet takes us to Anaheim. 6th inning, and Rafael Palmeiro off Chuck Finley, his 7th home run of the year. The solo shot makes it 3-1 Baltimore. Later in the inning, with a man on, Chris Hoyles, and that's gone. A 2-run homer. The rain moving down the coast. It's raining in Anaheim, 4th of the year for Hoyles, and Ben McDonald has that 6-1 lead in the 6th inning. Let's go back to Los Angeles.
Meanwhile, Ron Peronowski has come out, and Oral Hershiser was looking down at his finger like he was developing a blister. And as soon as Peronowski saw that, he made a call to the bullpen. So we'll find out who's coming on. Oral Lees will be back.
Every year, American business wastes millions of dollars on international calls by using the wrong long-distance company. Now you don't have to waste that money. Introducing MCI's Proof Positive Worldwide. Save up to 50% off typical international calls around the world. Call by June 30th and get 1 month of free long distance. Call MCI now and put your money back in your business.
Taking a look at the weather, we've got a high-pressure system
sitting right here.
And that is bringing us nothing but beautiful clear skies and old Mr. Sunshine.
Is it just us, or are weathermen really only guessing?
But hold on.
It's gonna get better.
Clear as a bell.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Soaring.
Dry.
That's why we make the Isuzu Trooper. Because life's an adventure. Be prepared.
My prediction, it's gonna rain. Trust me.
Isuzu, practically amazing.
The average person puts 9,000 times the weight of a sumo wrestler on their feet every day. That's why Dr. Scholl's created advanced insoles and inserts to give your shoes revolutionary cushioning and shock absorption. Make life in your shoes more comfortable.
Back with you in Los Angeles. You know, Buck, everything hitting all year. No-hitter tonight for Scott Erickson. Incredible performance by Danny Jackson and Oral Hershiser tonight as well.
Yeah, we thought we were going to have a good pitching matchup tonight. Oral Hershiser looked like the Oral Hershiser of a few years ago. He's had real good movement on his fastball. He's had good command of all of his pitches, and he pitched the Dodgers into the 8th inning, allowing just 2 runs on 5 hits. So I think Tommy Lasorda is going to be very pleased. You can see Hershiser talking to Hernandez, looking at his hand. Might suggest that he's got maybe a blister developing. As soon as Peronowski saw that, he made the call to the bullpen for the left-hander. Hershiser gets congratulations from his teammates. A real strong performance by the Dodger right-hander tonight.
You can see right at the end, though, Oral kind of tossed the glove down. You know he would like to go further, but something about his hand, and we have to assume it's a blister, although it was kind of funny, Buck, you mentioned he was looking kind of back more towards the calluses as opposed to out on the fingers.
Generally, when you think about a blister with a pitcher, it's toward the end of his fingertips, but he was concerned about something there in his hand.
Omar Dow comes on. Could be just to face one batter, Lenny Dykstra, with Mariano Duncan next, but the Phillies, of course, do have a number of left-handed batters in the lineup. Dow, who began the season at Albuquerque, was up quite a bit last year. So he'll be called on to face Lenny Dykstra here. Morandini with a pinch hit double, and that's pretty good news for the Phillies because coming in tonight, their pinch hitters were hitting a cool 3 for 30, 100. So Morandini gets a double to get those numbers a little better, but for the Phillies, it means they also get to bring the tying run to the plate.
Up for Morandini, that was his first double of the season, and it all came about because Hershiser fell behind 3-0. And then he got a 3-1 fastball and hooked it down into the corner in right field.
Even I could have hit if the count were 3-1 on me all the time.
You bet. Me too.
Breaking ball misses to Dykstra. 1 ball, no strikes to Lenny. They never asked you or me to do lectures on hitting. Why is that?
No. I was a great catcher.
1 ball, no strikes to Dykstra. Popped up, playable left side for Tim Wallach in foul territory. And let's go back to the studio. Chris Myers.
And the silver bullet takes us to Shea. Bottom of the 15th. Padres and Mets tied, 1 out. Fernando Vina off of Phil Clark. Here comes Kevin McReynolds, Tim Mauser, the loss, Doug Linton, the win. And the Padres winning streak is over as the Mets take it in 15, Dave.
Thank you, Chris. Buck had a chance to see another reason maybe why the Dodgers have never had an ERA over 4 at home. All that room in foul territory. A lot of ballparks, that foul ball Dykstra hits in the seats.
And he gets another shot at it. Well, Mariano Duncan has some power. He just about hit a home run against Orel Hershiser earlier in the ball game.
Foul back. Had a good whack at it, but Dow got it by him. Duncan's current average, 206. Mariano has drawn 4 walks this year on a much better pace than last year when he had the fewest in the majors with 12. Put good power numbers up last year, though. 73 runs batted in. Omar Dow didn't like the call from Hernandez. Fouled off. 0-2. Dow, another in a long line of left-handers that have come through Los Angeles. Last decent closer they had was Steve Howe, and with the problems he had, the Dodgers have been searching for a left-hander ever since.
And they just have Dow now and Gary Wayne out of that bullpen. A couple of basically specialty left-handers come in to face the left-handers. There's Wayne. He's standing by, ready to go.
Oh, 2 to Duncan. Morandini still perched at first. Didn't miss by much.
Pretty tough pitch to take with 2 strikes.
Oh, Buck Martinez umpiring up here in the booth. You had the right hand raised.
Looked good to me. Remember, I'm still thinking like a catcher, though.
I know. You're trying to buy that pitch for your pitcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got him on a breaking ball. Right now, Buck, Omar Dow last year looked like he was kind of lost all the time. He looks like he's in a very aggressive posture out there.
Boy, he really did a good job using all of his pitches to Duncan. He missed with the fastball inside and then drops a hook on him down and in. Duncan can't make contact. Real good late breaking curveball for the strikeout.
So Dow has come on and retired Lenny Dykstra on a foul pop and has struck out Mariano Duncan. Now must get past the dangerous John Kruk. 1 ball, no strikes. John with a couple of ground singles tonight. One of only 9 active players with 3,000 at bats that has a 300 batting average. And Kruk takes the curve low. John was giving a little ground there. 2 balls, no strikes. John began his career with the Padres, came over to the Phillies in one of those good deals engineered by Lee Thomas. Also picked up Lenny Dykstra in a key trade. Got Dave Hollins in a Rule 5. Foul right side, 2-1. Looked like John was trying to tie it up with 1 swing there.
And that's really not his strength. He's much better off, as you pointed out earlier in the game, when he stays back. Don't commit those hands too early. The Dodgers have to play him straight away in the outfield. That opens up an awful lot of room in the gaps. Down both lines, both alleys. There you look at the defense. Straight away in the outfield. Straight away and guarding the lines on the infield. So there are an awful lot of holes out there for John Kruk.
John got a little pine tar on that bat. Let's see, is that above the George Brett line there?
Yeah.
2 balls and a strike to Kruk. Fastball misses. 3-1. 3-1. Omar Dowell. Dave Hollins, whose career numbers are far better against left-handed pitching, waits on deck. And Kruk takes a strike. 3-2 as Omar hooked him.
Boy, that's a nasty breaking ball. Watch Kruk's reaction. He gives up on it because he thinks it's going to be inside, and then in the last moment it breaks out over the outside part of the plate.
That man right there, Ron Peronowski, one of the reasons he was such a great relief pitcher, he would throw the curveball for a strike at anywhere in the count, much like Omar Dowell just did there. Three and two, 2 outs. Morandini at second. 4-2 Dodgers. Rip, base hit. Morandini coming around third. He'll score, and it's a 1-run ball game. John Kruk, 3 for 4, 2 RBIs. He is a hitting machine.
Dave, I think that was a mistake just by the location. He had just thrown him a curveball away. Now, if anything, Kruk's going to be bailing out. So what do? They throw him a fastball to the inside part of the plate. And even if he's going to give a little bit, he can still get to that fastball on the inside part of the plate. If I'm going to throw the fastball anywhere, it's going to be away from Kruk after the good curveball he got over.
Well, they will not let the left-hander face Hollins. It will be Darren Dreifert. We'll be back after this.
Okay, I'm an adult, and I need a nutritious cereal, but I gotta tell you, there's something inside me that still wants frosting, frosting. Do I hear frosting? Forget that frosting. Let's talk whole grain wheat. Got plenty of it right here. Taste, taste, taste. What do you say about that? Taste. No, sir, let's talk low. How low can you go with fat and salt and...
Relax. With Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats, you can have it all. For the adult in you, whole grain wheat, 98% fat-free, no salt added. For the kid in you, lightly frosted, great taste.
So nutritious, I'll fill my bowl once, twice, frosting. So...
Airbags, seat belts, and anti-lock brakes, child safety seats, careful driving, and a set of Michelins.
To soothe athlete's foot, to relieve the burning, the itching, Desinex does it. But to cure athlete's foot, to kill the fungus that causes it, Desinex does it. Only Desinex has UDA, proven to both soothe the itching and burning and cure even tough athlete's foot cases. To soothe and cure athlete's foot, Desinex does it all. And for jock itch, Cruex is the #1 cure. Cruex cures jock itch.
ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball is brought to you by Desinex. Desinex kills athlete foot fungi before it turns ugly. And by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
21-year-old Darren Dreifert out of Wichita State University comes on, possessor of a great sinking fastball, and as they say in the trade, a good-looking young pitcher.
This will be his 9th game of the season. That one save came against the Philadelphia Phillies back at Veterans Stadium. He has an explosive sinker ball.
Turbo sinker. Dave Hollins. 0 for 3 tonight. Hit a couple of balls pretty well, but no luck for Hollins. Current average 237. 17 runs batted in to go to 3 home runs. Inside 2-0. See the good movement on the ball, though.
Hey, what you want to do with a young pitcher like Dreifert with that good movement is just set up right in the middle of the plate. Don't ask him to paint the corners. Just say throw it to the middle and let it work to the corners.
Just low, 3-0. 82-mile-an-hour fastball.
Hernandez hollering encouragement to his young right-hander.
Dangerous hitter on deck. Strike called, 3-1.
Driver's just one of 19 professional players that made his pro debut in the big leagues.
And you and I are not included in that group.
That's select company.
3-1 pitch. Chopped out in front of the plate. Hernandez up and on, and it's a foul ball. They called it a foul ball. Wonder why Hollins ran. He knew they fouled that.
That's what Tommy Lasorda is going to come out of the dugout and ask. Now, what happened, he says. Wait a minute. If the hitter ran down to first base, that tells me that he thinks it's a fair ball.
You know, normally out in front of home plate it would bounce, but with that turf stuff they've put down to try to dry things out, that may have really deadened that ball, and Paul Runge's the one that called it foul. Some kind of drying element, but it was called foul. And I don't know how you can change your mind, because once the umpire calls it foul.
That's not even close. This is a little tapper in front of home plate. Lasorda is really getting into it with Larry Vanover.
One thing about it, once it's called foul, you cannot change your mind on that one, because that stops the runner from running. If it's a home run or something like that, then if another umpire gets it, he can change his mind. Tommy's already been at it with Vanover once tonight and going at it again.
He's had a busy night. He's coaching third. He's had a couple of arguments with the umpires. Put a lot of hit and run plays on. And he's not going to give this one up easily.
Vanover showing a lot of patience. Maybe a case where Tommy has decided maybe, just maybe, he wants to get run in this situation. If Tommy doesn't leave. Now, see, that's one of the great things about baseball. You know, if you're playing basketball or football, a coach comes on the field, hey, you're out of the game, take a hike.
Here's the reason Lasorda was on the field. Hollins with that little tapper in front of home plate. Hernandez out, throws out Hollins. But then the first base umpire, Larry Vanover, says, nope, that was a foul ball.
Now watch the fans go. Fair. Well, whatever that drying element is they put on out in front of home plate because of the rains, that really deadened the ball, because normally the area here at Dodger Stadium is very hard. You get the kangaroo hops. Rip, and fair ball. Here comes Kruk around third. He's heading for the plate. We got a tie game, and Lasorda will really do a slow burn now. So John Kruk scores, and Lasorda is livid.
He was out of the inning on the little tapper in front of the plate. Hollins had life. Take a look at Kruk on the 3-2 pitch. He gets a great jump at first base, and then Hollins hammers the ball down the right field corner. Mitch Webster overplays it very well, but what's Snyder's reaction? He didn't really understand where the play was. No one had helped Snyder. Remember, he's playing second base for the first time this year, and they may have had a shot at Kruk at the plate. Look at Lasorda. I think he's been run out of this game. Larry Vanover, the first base umpire, coming down. He said, you threw me out of the game? For what? For what? He said, I didn't say a word to him. Now pleading his case with Paul Runge at home plate. And now Paranowski, the pitching coach, has given it to Vanover.
Well, I thought maybe Tommy was going to get run when he was out there. Maybe he gesticulated something after the double by Dalton.
Now, I'm not sure if he's been tossed or not.
I'm not sure either. We're just going to have to find out. If he leaves and hands the lineup card to somebody, that's a pretty good tip-off.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Dodgers, number 47.
No, he hasn't been run. Okay.
This is Lasorda in the dugout. Now he's hollering at Vanover. You want to talk to me? Vanover had taken several steps down from the first base bag toward the dugout, but Lasorda's still in the dugout, still managing and coaching third.
Working that gum over to get a little frustration out. Meanwhile, we do have a pitching change, and the left-hander Gary Wayne has come on to pitch to Darren Dalton. So a game that was really buzzing along, now the wheels are really in motion. This is the fourth pitcher in the inning for the Dodgers. Hershiser began, left with a blister after the Morandini double. Dow came in, retired Dykstra, retired Duncan, and had Kruk in a hole 1 and 2, but John took the count full and lashed a single. Dreifert came on, and then after a disputed ball out in front of the plate that was called foul, we believe, by Larry Vanover, the first base umpire, Hollins got a second life and doubled in the tying run. And you can understand from Vanover's vantage point, when that ball hit and thudded, I think he thought the ball hit Hollins' foot.
Yeah, the reaction was that it didn't really bounce out like you would normally expect, and he felt that something was unusual. But here's a look at it. Hollins with a 3-1 count swings, and then the ball looks like it's late coming out. But Hernandez thinks it's fair. Hollins thinks it's fair. But what's the umpire?
And you can clearly see that Paul Runge pointed to fair, but Vanover called it foul. So here's Dalton. Darren, .213 against lefties last year, so he'll have to do something against Wayne as he takes it outside. Hershiser, meanwhile, will get his fourth no decision in 5 starts. Danny Jackson could still get a win if the Phillies can come up with a run here. Remember, Morandini pinch hit for him leading off the inning. So a 4-4 tie here in the top of the 8th. And again, these two teams are just playing like cats and dogs against each other. Each one has been close. Fastball swung at and missed. 2-1. Jim Eisenreich, another left-handed batter, is on deck. Of course, Pete Incaviglia, amongst others, is on the bench. Wes Chamberlain. Dalton fouls it out of play. Wayne has come back to even the count at 2-2.
Left-hander Gary Wayne on to deal with Darren Dalton. That breaking ball away from him, fouls it off. With the left-hander on, I'm a bit surprised that Corey Snyder is still playing Dalton to pull. I might play Dalton a little more up the middle against the left-handed pitcher.
Especially with 2 strikes. Got him. Broke a curve off on the outside corner. We go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 4.
When 280 seemed out of reach, it's Joe Amato and Autolite who punch it. The ball goes to 290. Connie Coletta and Autolite smash it. 300, the barrier. Kenny Bernstein and Autolite shatter it. Autolite and the Record Breakers. Wow, I feel good. We feel pretty good about that.
Maybe it's because their frames are welded instead of bolted.
Or because their decks are stamped from a single piece of steel. Or maybe it's the fact that they have the highest resale value in the industry.
Oh, hey, I always wanted one of these. Thanks.
But the truth is, when people are asked what kind of lawn tractor they'd like as a gift,
Happy birthday, Dad.
most say the same thing.
The versatile Ricoh touchscreen copier. For those impressed by its remarkable brain, consider the body. Precision engineered for heavy duty and high volume. Ricoh's obsession with reliability and performance in a whole new class of machine. And the quality we put into it, you can get out of it right now. Because Ricoh's touchscreen copiers are not only more productive, they're also more affordable. The name to know, Ricoh.
So you're with your friends at a bar.
What are you folks having?
What?
You go first. No, I don't know.
Beer? No. Wine cooler?
What?
You want something different.
Something what?
Different.
What do you have?
Whatever he's having. What? Seems tasty, but not too sweet. It's not a too sweet. What?
So you try it. What?
Seema.
Dowie.
See what I mean? What you're smoking?
Nice hat.
Well, we got a tie game, bottom of the 8th inning, and this was a controversial play with Hollins at the plate, 3-1 count on him. Dreifert with that good sinker ball gets a little tapper out in front of home. Hollins sprints down the line thinking that it's a fair ball. Hernandez came out of the chute, fires to first base, but Larry Vanover, the first base umpire, had called it a foul ball. Lasorda came out after the inning talking to Paul Runge. You made the right call. You made the right call. Runge had signaled it fair. That was his reaction, but Vanover, the first base umpire, overruled him. On the next pitch, Hollins hammered a double down into the corner, and Kruk scored all the way from first base.
Doug Jones comes on. He will bat in the spot vacated by Mariano Duncan, as Mickey Morandini has stayed in the game at second base. Eric Karros leads off and takes a fastball strike. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Just off the edge, 1-1. Jones, of course, picked up in the trade. As we look at Morandini, he stays in. He's batting ninth. Up the middle, a base hit. So the Dodgers in business here in the bottom of the 8th. Let's go back to the studio and Chris Myers.
Hi, Dave. The Silver Bullet takes us to Anaheim. O's and Angels. Chris Hoyles batting against Scott Lewis.
Oh, right in the head.
Ripken had homered earlier, along with Hoyles. Lewis was ejected from the game as they got into it. Rafael Palmeiro has a homer, and the Orioles have a 9-1 advantage. Ben McDonald has that lead. Let's go back to Los Angeles.
Don't like to see that. Bunt foul left side as Corey Snyder's trying to sacrifice Karros along. Of course, Hoyles, didn't he have a home run earlier tonight? Had a big 3-run shot yesterday.
Well, I don't buy any pitchers throwing at a hitter because they're pounding on you.
No.
I don't mind pitchers busting hitters inside as part of pitching, but as far as retaliation for getting hit hard, I don't think that plays.
0-1 to Snyder. Bunts this one up in the air. Got to play at second, and Jones didn't throw it. Oh, they had Karros hung out to dry at second base because he had to hesitate.
Boy, they sure had to play at second. Jones must not have heard either Kruk or Dalton because it's popped up, and the base runner, Karros, has to hold his ground to make sure it's on the ground. Now look at Karros. They would have had an easy play at second base, but Jones must not have heard either Dalton or Kruk. Snyder gets credit for the sacrifice bunt, but that could have been a big play for the Phillies. They had a shot at Karros, the lead runner.
Mitch Webster turns around and bats left-handed for the first time tonight. One strike as Jones gets it in. Webster beat the Phillies in that game where the Dodgers rallied from a 7-3 deficit back in Philadelphia. Mitch had a key hit in the top of the ninth to put the Dodgers ahead. Up the middle, and now they have Karros trapped off, but Hollins, here's the rundown, and Hollins tags him. They got a shot at second, almost got it. Almost a play there where I've seen shortstops intentionally get a guy in the rundown and get a double play, but Webster made second.
Now you got to make sure that that ball is by the pitcher before you advance. Karros drifted too far off the bag. Take a look at Karros, top of your screen. It's a comebacker to the pitcher, and he breaks on contact. But now Jones to Hollins, over to Morandini, and they get Karros and almost have a shot at Webster, but Mitch does a good job sliding into second base, and he has himself in scoring position.
Well, Mike Piazza is going to come on to pinch hit. Dave Hansen was in the on-deck circle. Remember when Lasorda did not pinch run for Carlos Hernandez, and he wanted to save Piazza? Well, he brings him on here, and then it's going to be decision time for Jim Fregosi. Do you walk Piazza, and then you know you're going to have to face Dave Hansen, a left-handed pinch hitter, or do you pitch to Piazza?
Number 31, Mike Piazza.
I think you either make the decision to put him on or try to get him out. You don't ask the pitcher to pitch around a guy like this.
Jim Fregosi, along with Cito Gaston, the two guys that managed in the World Series last year, made less moves, intentional walks, stolen base hit and run attempts, pitch outs than any managers in baseball. And Piazza takes a strike, which just goes to show you, if you got the ponies, let them play.
Well, it's interesting now. We have seen the Dodger hitters facing Jones sitting on that changeup. That's his best pitch, but everybody in the league now has a tendency to look for it.
There's the change, 1-1. Piazza got out to a miserable start, 3 for his first 35. He was starting to pick things up, though. Mike, 112 ribbies last year. Set a Los Angeles Dodger record with 35 homers, most since they've moved west. Changeup, he waited, but got under it. Lenny Dykstra got it, and we head to the ninth, all tied at 4.
The relaxed and beautiful atmosphere of the locally renowned Blue Heron Pines Golf Course is the spot for this year's Boy Scouts of America Jersey Shore Council golf outing. Sponsorships are available, and your participation is welcomed for this great fundraising opportunity to help promote your support of scouting. Please register now for the Shore's Best Golf Outing fundraiser by calling 908-349-1037 and do a good turn for scouting.
Oh, you need
Timing's everything, and you couldn't pick a better time to save on a Toyota truck. For a limited time only, get low 3.9% financing. 3.9% makes 4x4 durability a better value than ever. Gives you T100's big capacity at a smaller monthly payment. 3.9% makes any Toyota truck or sports utility vehicle a better value than ever. Rates going up, Toyota's just went down. But hurry, time's limited. The time to see your Toyota dealer is now.
Good time it brought me to you.
It can help you experience a game that's better all around. Get the 8 Ways to a Better Golf Game video. It's guaranteed to improve your game, and it's free with your paid subscription. Order 12 issues of Golf Digest for just $19.77 now, and get the latest video free. Call 800-225-7555. That's 800-225-7555.
Now it's time for the Kelly Springfield Tire Company plays of the game. And they came during the same at-bat in the top of the 8th inning with the Phillies trailing by 1, 2 outs. John Kruk at first base. Dave Hollins hit what appeared to be a little tapper out in front of the plate to end the inning. But first base umpire Larry Vanover called it a foul ball, and that gave Hollins new life. Did he take advantage? With Kruk moving on a 3-2 pitch, Hollins just about paints the chalk in right field, and even though Webster comes up with it cleanly, Truck comes around to tie the game. That's our Kelly Springfield Tire Company plays of the game.
Number 31,
Mike Piazza, the new catcher, still steaming a little bit from that at bat. Piazza thought he had waited long enough on that changeup from Doug Jones, and Piazza was not happy.
Well, he had the right pitch on his mind. He stayed back, but just got underneath him. Popped it straight up, hit it to the outfield, and Dykstra made the play.
Jim Eisenreich to lead off against Gary Wayne here. Top of the ninth, tries to take one up the first base side, but Wayne bounces out and throws him out. Chris Myers.
All right, Dave, the Silver Bullet takes us to Oakland. Red Sox lead 1-0. Jeff Russell, a man on, 2 out in the ninth. Ruben Sierra hits one up there. It's out there. But Otis Nixon is back there for the last out of the game. Viola wins it as the Red Sox hang on 1-0. Okay?
And the Oakland A's lose their 9th in a row.
Ron Darling took the loss in that game. He has really been pitching well. Doesn't have much to show for it lately, but he's been throwing the ball very well.
Pete Incavilla is going to hit for Milt Thompson, and as soon as he's announced, Ron Peronowski begins to stroll out of the Dodger dugout. All indications are that that will mean a pitching change. I don't think Perry's going out to give a scouting report on how to pitch Incavilla. So Peronowski out, makes the call for the right-hander. Todd Worrell is going to be coming on. We'll be back after this.
There are a lot of things on our label that I'm really proud of. I'm proud of the name Coors on there, sure. And I'm also proud of the fact that we use all natural ingredients. What I really like best is down there where it says where we come from. A little town in a valley that my great-grandfather rode into 120 years ago.
Plow the back 40. Introducing the new, more powerful Grand L series from Kubota with our smoothest, quietest tractor engine yet.
Alternative math. 1 for sandwich, plus 1 hash brown, plus 1 coffee equals $1.99 every day. Add it to your morning at Burger King.
We may not be the world's #1 fast food place. It just tastes that way.
Look what's new at Sherwin-Williams. Style Perfect Interior Flat is on sale, just $9.99 a gallon. You'll find new Everclean and new wallpaper, too. It's all here at Sherwin-Williams' New Look Sale.
Sherwin-Williams. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Sports Center now at new times, 6:30 and 11 p.m. weekdays.
Four tie, top of the 9th inning. The Dodgers bring on their 5th pitcher in the last 8 batters as the wheels are a-turning. Todd Worrell out for a couple of years with an assortment of arm injuries, but has been throwing pretty well this season.
He sure has. He's got his velocity back. 10 strikeouts in 9 innings. Good hard fastball, sharp breaking slider. He's thrown an occasional changeup, but he is the power pitcher that he once was with the Cardinals. After a series of arm problems, he has gotten the fastball back. This will be his 8th game of the season. He worked in last night's game through just 9 pitches.
Certainly no juice pucks in that series.
No, they got the goalies playing tight tonight.
Indians.
Manny Ramirez. Whew. Another young star there for the Indians.
Scott Erickson, a big no-hitter tonight. Texas beats Toronto.
That should be 30 RBIs for Joe Carter now.
That would be a new Major League record. Cincinnati finally loses a Central Division game, first time. Padre win streak stopped at 4. Incavilla against Worrell. 1 ball, no strikes. Buffalo in that hockey game facing elimination. New Jersey leading that series 3-2. 2 balls, no strikes to Incavilla. Caps eliminated the Penguins tonight on ESPN. Kevin Stocker waiting on deck. Inky will zone, probably looking inner half here to try to go deep. Got one up, 2-1.
And a good hack at it. Might have been out of his happy zone. He's a little better down and out over that plate.
Yeah, like most of the big guys, they like those thigh high that they can just uppercut on.
That was up around the letters. Pretty good velocity from Worrell.
2-1 pitch. Runge said it got an edge. 2-2. 9-5 on the gun. On the outside edge, maybe. That is known as unhittable. Got him. Painting at 95 is no fair.
Incavilla doesn't believe it's a strike. Paul Runge said, hey, they're both in the same spot. I called the previous one a strike, and I'll stick to that one there, too. Come on, Paul, that's not a strike. That's outside.
He usually tell the ump, you try and hit that one. And Paul, who I played against in college when he went to Arizona State, said, I never could. That's why I became an umpire. So Inky down on strikes. Not happy. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Kevin Stocker. Stocker's hit the ball well a couple of times tonight. Brett Butler playing him a little deeper now, trying to take away an extra base hit. Fastball waved at and missed.
Yeah, these are situations where you have to be aware of the score, know that with 2 outs you don't want to give up the extra base hit, so you'll concede that little Texas leaguer in front of the outfield.
Butler took a hit away from him back in the 5th inning by playing a deep second base almost. I'm not going to catch up with that piece of gas. 1-2.
Well, let me tell you something. If Worrell continues to throw the ball the way he has in the month of April to go along with the rest of those good arms they have on that bullpen, the Dodgers have a very, very deep crew out there.
Not only that, but in games like this, they also have an extremely deep bench. And this is the kind of games that those 2 things pay off in. Right field, in comes Webster, and he got it. Good running catch by Mitch Webster. Go to the bottom of the 9th. The Dodgers have a chance to win it.
Polish a whole car in about half the time with new Turtle Wax Instant Foam and Shine, the first foaming car polish. It's so much easier. With ordinary polish, you have to wipe, wait, and rub. With new Instant Foam and Shine, you just foam and shine. A mirror-like shine with long-lasting Turtle Wax protection. It's never been easier or faster. So why wait? Polish your car in about half the time with new Turtle Wax Instant Foam and Shine.
Every year, American business wastes millions of dollars on international calls by using the wrong long-distance company. Now you don't have to waste that money. Introducing MCI's Proof Positive Worldwide. Save up to 50% off typical international calls around the world. Call by June 30th and get 1 month of free long distance. Call MCI now and put your money back in your business.
Back with
When we started making tires, this was considered a romantic drive. But soon, America would fall in love with cars. And Americans would find new ways to fall in love with each other. And through it all, we made tires for just about any car anybody started off in. Kelly Springfield, America's oldest tire company.
NHL playoff update. Devils, Sabres, scoreless, third overtime. Scott Niedermayer in. Niedermayer dead. Dominic Hasek with the save. As time runs down, they're going to the fourth overtime. Longest scoreless NHL playoff game since 1936. Let's return now to David Buck in Los Angeles.
Thank you, Chris. Those guys have got to get getting a little tired.
You bet.
Yeah, when you play
4
look at
overtimes.
Pete Incaviglia in left. Played 17 innings in baseball. It's more of a mental grind, I guess, unless you're a catcher, of course. Here's Chris Gwynn to lead it off. Hockey, 4 overtimes. Gwynn released by the Royals and picked up by the team that originally signed him, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Jones misses. 1 ball, no strikes. There's the change. Drops over 1-1. Got such good motion with it.
There you see Chris Gwynn deep in the box.
Swing and miss. 1 and 2.
Generally, when you see a hitter make a dramatic adjustment with Jones on the mound, they'll move up in the box trying to catch that changeup before it sinks out of the strike zone. And Gwynn is in his normal stance.
See that lighter stuff in front of the plate. I believe the name of the stuff is Turfus, T-U-R-F-U-S, something like that. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express or written consent. Well, they come late and they leave early, but we won't. We'll stay here to the end. The 1-2 pitch. Hack foul, 1-2. The count stays. Tommy's been out there all night. They've stayed. Through rain, through wind. Popped up, shallow right. Morandini out, making the call, and makes the catch for the first out. Coming up following the game on SportsCenter, Carl Ravitch and Steve Levy. Look at Scott Erickson's no-hit bid tonight for the Minnesota Twins. Joe Carter in pursuit of a major league record, and an NBA playoff preview. All coming up on SportsCenter following the game tonight here on ESPN. Brett Butler had a key hit back in the 7th, gave the Dodgers a lead at the time, driving in Carlos Hernandez. Butler later scored a run to give the Dodgers a 4-2 lead, but the Phillies bounced back to tie it at 4. 1 ball, no strikes to Butler.
Doug Jones with that changeup. This is the type of guy that can give him a lot of trouble because he doesn't overswing, doesn't have a big swing. There he takes the fastball.
Down even at 1-1.
Last year, Jones was crushed by the Rockies. In 4 games, he lost 3. His ERA was 20.77.
In fact, Art Howe, who is now working as a special assignment scout for the Los Angeles Dodgers, a lot of people maybe feel he lost his job because his Houston Astro Club went 2-11 against the Rockies.
But Jones said that Baylor gave the Rockies a great game plan. He said, sit on the changeup, but make him throw it for strikes.
Butler fouls it off. And Brett again scattering the patrons behind third. Got to stay alert. The Astro bullpen gave up 31 runs in 30 innings to the Rockies last year. Doug Jones and Xavier Hernandez were 0-7 between them. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rockies, going into last night's game, were the leading run-scoring team in the National League, but they've been held down the last 2 nights. Just outside. Bob Tewksbury pitched a gem last night, struck out 10, and the Marlins beat the Rockies 3-2 tonight down in Florida.
Did he walk anybody?
I don't think he even had a 3-ball count last night. Oh yeah, he went 3-0 on Howard Johnson and threw him a curveball for a strike. 3-2 the count to Butler, and that was close.
Lots of movement on this changeup down and away from Butler. Once again, Dalton frames that pitch, just brings it right back toward the strike zone, but he couldn't sell Paul Runge on it.
I think he's probably saying, what was that pitch? He said, you rang me up on that outside corner. Out of play.
To be effective with that changeup, you really got to have good arm action. You got to make the hitters believe that that fastball is coming, and the arm action has to be identical to when you throw the fastball. If you slow it down at all, you really tip the hitters off.
Got him. Blew a heater on by that ends up looking about 93 when it's probably in reality about 85. Back to Chris Myers.
All right, Dave, the Silver Bullet takes us to Anaheim. Cal Ripken, one of his 4 hits. This gets another run home. He later scored. He's driven in 5. Ben McDonald on his way to his 5th win as the Orioles are hammering the Angels. Let's go back to Dave and Buck in Los Angeles.
I think Ripken needs a day off. What do you think?
Well, you give it to him.
Yeah. Fly ball to left. Incavilla's got it. And we have bonus time. Extra innings coming up. 4-4 as we go to the 10th.
When 280 seemed out of reach, it's Joe Amato and Autolite who punch it. The wall goes to 290. Connie Coletta and Autolite smash it. 300, the barrier. Kenny Bernstein and Autolite shatter it. Autolite and the Record Breakers. Wow, I feel good. We feel pretty good about that.
To soothe athlete's foot, to relieve the burning, the itching, Desinex does it. But to cure athlete's foot, to kill the fungus that causes it, Desinex does it. Only Desinex has UDA, proven to both soothe the itching and burning and cure even tough athlete's foot cases. To soothe and cure athlete's foot, Desinex does it all. And for jock itch, Cruex is the #1 cure. Cruex cures jock itch.
There are a lot of things on our label that I'm really proud of. I'm proud of the name Coors on there, sure. And I'm also proud of the fact that we use all natural ingredients. What I really like best is down there where it says where we come from. A little town in a valley that my great-grandfather rode into 120 years ago.
Seesaw all night long. We head to the 10th, tied at 4. And, of course, you know what comes up following the baseball game. Sports Center. Yet we had our 2nd no-hitter in the major leagues this year. Joe Carter in pursuit of a major league record for RBIs in the month of April and a preview of the NBA playoffs. Jim Gott takes over. The Dodgers are going through their bullpen. Only Roger McDowell remains. See Gott's numbers on the year. So that depth of the Dodger bullpen being tested tonight.
Jim Gott had 25 saves last season for the Dodgers. They would like him to be the legitimate setup guy and a very capable one if Todd Worrell can bounce back and perform the way he did for the Cardinals. Worrell working just 2/3 of an inning here tonight.
Mickey Morandini had a big hit, pinch hit double to get the Phillies going in the 8th when they were down by 2, and got misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. So the second base platoon, Duncan has driven one in, and Morandini has gotten aboard and scored a big run. 2-0 as Gotts behind. Phillies come in with an 8-12 record. That's at the bottom of the National League East. Dodgers came in at 9-11. Out of play, 2-1. Larry Anderson back up again in the Philly bullpen. He was up earlier. He has bounced back from knee surgery. Two ball, one strike, out of play. Norm Charlton, who pitched a simulated game the other day, still on the shelf, but Johnny Padres, the pitching coach, says he still has great hopes next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think they're really pleased with his progress after that surgery last year.
Has had a couple of little bouts with tendonitis, so they're not rushing things. Bouncer left side. Good play by Offerman. In the dirt, though, and Karros pulls it out. Nice play at both ends. A terrific play by Karros on a tough half hop.
Well, Karros has been outstanding in the field tonight. Offerman made a fine play to glove this ball up the middle. Showing good range, goes behind the bag, and it takes a while to get himself set, and then throws the ball in the dirt. Gives Karros a little short hop, and Eric hangs with it, makes a nice play. Good glove work there by the Dodger shortstop, and a fine play by Eric Karros at first base to help him out.
Those are the tough ones when they are out in front, and that's really a great improvement in Karros' game. He did not have real good hands when he first came up, but he's made several fine plays tonight. It's been evident he's been working hard on the defensive end. Dykstra looks for the strike. The count evens out at 1-1. Lenny 1 for 4 and a run scored. Two balls, a strike. Forget sometimes about the kind of power that Lenny Dykstra can generate. He had a chance to show it off in the postseason last year with 6 home runs. He was a one-man wrecking crew for the Phillies in the playoffs and World Series. 3-1. Wes Chamberlain has moved out to the on-deck circle where the pitcher's spot is scheduled to hit. Lenny is going to look zone here in. He may try to crank. Got it a little bit on the outer half. 3-2.
Well, when you're looking for a pitch in an area and you don't get it, you've got to take it like that. He had one thing on his mind, was something he could drive out of the ballpark.
Inside corner, and Lenny can't believe it. Well, while he walks away, we head to the studio and Chris Myers.
Dave, the Silver Bullet takes us to the ballpark in Arlington. Joe Carter, 29 runs batted in. First inning, singles to score Paul Molitor. That's 30 runs batted in April, a new major league record. But Texas won the game 11-3. Back to Dave and Buck in L.A.
Yeah, I wonder how many he'd have if he didn't have a broken thumb.
He said, don't worry, my thumb's getting better, and I'll start swinging at bad pitches again. He had 25 last April, 30 this year with a broken thumb.
Lenny was looking in, 3-1, got it away, and then 3-2 was looking away and buried it on the inside corner. Here's Wes Chamberlain, another guy coming back from surgery in the early part of the year, and Gott is throwing peas on the corner. Ball and a strike.
Gott still has good velocity. The way Dahl threw tonight, Wayne, and then with Dreifert, Gott, McDowell, and Worrell, 4 pretty good right-handed arms there.
If you're going to beat the Dodgers, you better beat them before the 7th or 8th inning, and you may be in for a long battle. Got him on the corner, 1-2. Looking ahead to the Dodger 10th, it's Rodriguez, Wallach, and Caro's schedule.
The slider catches the outside corner.
Wes, Buck, and I both know the feeling. That slider away.
It's an impossible pitch.
I wonder if Wes is thinking the same thing you and I used to. Let's see. What can we do to think about our broadcasting careers? 1-2, the count to Chamberlain.
If he does that again, this is bat's over.
Piazza's calling for the breaking ball. 2-2.
Now Chamberlain really thinking about the outside part of the play. Let's see if they go inside here with the fastball. Well, Piazza wants the fastball away.
Boy, the Dodger relief pitchers are some kind of painting the corners right now. And Wes Chamberlain doesn't like the call, but Paul Runge's been consistent. We go to the bottom of the 10th. That's who's coming up.
Listen up. What time is it?
Showtime. Do or die time. Overtime. Prime time.
Playoff time.
TNT time.
The most games, the best broadcast team, all the scores and highlights, and live bonus coverage.
You know what time it is.
Because
nobody plays the playoff like TNT. Nobody.
We've never had a better selection of Lincolns.
Or better deals.
New Lincolns with nothing down, no question. This is going to be a big sales event.
When we offer a Touring Edition Continental with power moonroof, leather, and keyless entry with nothing down on a 2-year lease.
For only $482 a month.
They'll know this is the time to get one.
That is a great car for the money.
When you can get all the luxury features you want with monthly payments you can afford and no down payment.
I call that a win-win situation.
At your Lincoln Mercury dealer, everybody wins.
Trisha cereal, but I gotta tell you, there's something inside me that still wants frosting, frosting. Do I hear frosting? Forget that frosting. Let's talk whole grain wheat. Got plenty of it right here. Taste, taste, taste. What do you say about that? Taste. No, sir. Let's talk low. How low can you go with fat and salt and...
Relax. With Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats, you can have it all. For the adult in you, whole grain wheat, 98% fat-free, no salt added. For the kid in you, lightly frosted, great taste.
So nutritious, I'll fill my bowl once, twice, frosting. So...
Bottom of the 10th inning. Game has settled into a bit of a pitcher's duel, back and forth. Some of the Philly hitters haven't been too pleased with the calls of Paul Runge, but Runge has been very consistent. He always is on the outer part of the plate.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Phillies, number 47, Larry.
So Chamberlain walks away, and Larry Anderson assumes the position on the mound for the Phillies as we go to the bottom of the 10th. Larry, 41-year-old veteran, probably had the highlight of his career last year, getting the save in a playoff game against the Atlanta Braves. Big ball game down in Atlanta, a seesaw game. He certainly went around and finally got his moment in the sun.
Well, he has good command of that slider. He'll throw that slider 75% of the time, trying to paint the outside part of the plate to the right-handed hitters, and he just seems to be able to go on and on and on. He had orthoscopic surgery on his left knee back in March. It's now starting to come around. This is just his 4th appearance of the season.
Said 75%. I'm still looking for a fastball coming. If you're a right-handed batter, if you see 25% fastballs, you're having a good night.
Yeah, he's going to make you hit that breaking ball on the outer part of the plate.
Henry Rodriguez.
Henry Rodriguez, who took over when Raul Mondesi left, had a bit of a problem with his foot. Rodriguez has his second at bat of the evening. Bottom half of inning number 10. Dodgers drew first blood. Phil's got 2 in the 3rd. It was 2-2 in the 4th. Dodgers got 2 in the 7th. The Phillies put a 2 spot up in the 8th. 1 ball, no strikes. They're hanging in. Got his Dodger cap on. Hoping for a rally here. 2 balls, no strikes, as Anderson went for the backdoor slider and missed. Rodriguez does have home run power. 2-1. Slider in.
There have been a few balls hit tonight that looked like they had a chance to go out of the ballpark, but it's cool. It's actually cold now, and the ball just not traveling.
3 balls, 1 strike. Tommy's still hanging out at third base, hoping to shake hands or wave somebody home. And Rodriguez draws a lead walk. Well, this Sunday on ESPN Speed World, the Winston Select 500 from Talladega Speedway. Ernie Irvan is the early contention for the Winston Cup Championship. See live flag-to-flag coverage beginning at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific, Sunday on ESPN. So Rodriguez checking with Reggie Smith. You saw Lasorda conferring with Wallach. Tim Wallach has only had 6 sacrifice bunts in his career. So what do you think the Dodgers skipper is going to do here?
I'd be surprised if he hasn't bunting. Even though that's the winning run at first base, he's been so hot and really swinging the bat well all night long tonight. But he's going to bunt. He's going to square around.
One thing about it, when you have a guy do something at the plate that he is not accustomed to doing, sometimes makes it pretty difficult. That was a bad effort by Wallach. You can't bunt with the bat tilted back at an angle like he does here.
Now you can see he's not really comfortable doing that. He's also had a lot of success against Larry Anderson. He's hit .357 in his career against Anderson. When you think about Wallach, always been a good low ball hitter. Anderson throwing that slider a lot. That's where that ball ends up. So let's see, after we sort of saw that pretty weak bunt attempt, if he decides to let Wallach swing the bat. Now he's squaring again.
He takes it 1-1.
Now they're going to have another meeting. Listen, Tommy, I'm not real comfortable doing this. Would you reconsider?
Okay, Timmy, hit one out of the ballpark.
Okay. Listen, if I promise to hit one out of the park, will you let me swing?
Well, if Tim is swinging, he's doing a good job of faking it, because that look on his face was, well, you're the boss, but this time I don't agree with the boss. One ball, 1 strike to Tim Wallach. Not bunting. Slider right side.
That was close to being a real hittable slider.
Yep.
It was just too high.
Not in the old days, but with the new strike zone it is.
Now they might play hit and run.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Nope. Inside corner, 2-2. Did he actually throw him that one rare fastball, or was that a backup slider with fastball?
Looked like a fastball. Let's see what this ball does. No, that was a backup slider. Meant to go the other way.
Greatest pitch in baseball. How do you hold it, though? 2-2 the count. Wallach trying to hit it the other way, fouls it back. Jim 2 for 4 tonight, a single, a double. 6 home runs on the season. Two and 2 the count. Outside, full count, and we'll keep an eye on Rodriguez. Collins guarding the line at third. They're trying to take the extra base hit away. You know, Tom Lasorda, you know he's going to put the runner in motion to try to stay out of the double play. Runner goes. Pitch is fouled off. We'll do it again.
Well, Lasorda has started the runner all night long. He had 3 hit and runs earlier in the game. You can see highlights of those hit and runs right there on Sports Center right after this game.
Wonder if they'll replay my pronunciation of the Talladega Speedway. Hey, after 3 hours, the mouth doesn't work, folks. I've been practicing Talladega all day and I choked.
Well, it's cold here.
3-2, no excuses. Ball 4. Wallach draws the walk.
Now he's got to go down and talk to another slugger about bunting. Listen, Eric, you think you can bunt?
How's your bunting, Eros? What is it, Eric? You a pretty good bunter? Uh-oh.
He doesn't have a sacrifice this year.
I think Tommy just said, square around, maybe take a pitch, maybe you get a fastball and hit the, well, we'll paraphrase, hit the dickens out of it. Jim Fregosi is going to come out. Phillies are going to talk about how they're probably going to try to defense what they think is going to be a bunt. Lip reading is fun. Those telezoom cameras we have, there's no secrets anymore.
Well, Fergosi's message was short and sweet.
First baseman, Eric.
The thing you generally tell your infield in a situation like this is make sure you get 1 out.
Then you have the options if you do give up the sacrifice of walking the next guy and then setting up a double play situation at least. But you've got to at least get 1 out.
Karros never shows bunt. Got the slider. It's one thing about Larry Anderson. Lasorda said they're probably looking bunt. Maybe you're going to get a fastball and drive it. With Larry Anderson, you very rarely get the fastball.
Now look at the Phillies on the infield. Hollins is in front of the bag at third. Middle infielders at double play depth. Kruk in at first base.
Slider inside corner, and Karros has got to go to the emergency stance. 0-2.
Well, that locked him up because when you think slider, you think away from you. Anderson threw it to the inside part of the plate, and Karros couldn't pull the trigger.
Check swing foul. Anderson with a high slider. Count stays 0-2 to Eric Karros.
You got to be the best at that, huh?
I'll tell you what. Telling Rodriguez, fly ball to right field. Make sure you tag up and get over here. What was it Joe Garagiola once said? He said you could plant 2,000 rows of corn with all the fertilizer down in the sort of spreads. But I'll tell you what, he gets these Dodger players to believe in it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I believe he went, and he did. Strikeout, slider. Karros walks away.
Steady diet of sliders. Karros tried to hold his bat back. Couldn't check his swing. He went around. Anderson has the first out of the inning.
That'll bring on Corey Snyder. And Corey, my friend, if you're looking fastball, wait a while. It's a strike. 0-1. Snyder, good productivity in the early going this year. Out of play, and Anderson's ahead 0-2.
Well, you know you're not going to get a pitch over the plate now. Anderson's in driver's seat. What he can do is just take that slider further and further off the plate. Snyder's going to have to go out and get this pitch.
Not very good arms in the Philly outfield right now with Incavilla, Dykstra, and Eisenreich. So a base hit to the outfield, unless it's one where the runner has to hesitate, should score a run. Foul. What is that? You know, Larry, he's starting to throw a fork ball.
That might have been a fork ball. It looked like it broke down and in a bit. Let's take a look at this pitch here. That's what it was. I think that's why it fooled Snyder. You gotta have a new trick up your sleeve every once in a while.
I think that was the pitch he struck out, I believe, Ron Gant to end that ball game, and nobody had seen a fork ball from Anderson before. Back to the slider. 1-2. Corey 2 for 2 officially, has a sacrifice fly and a sacrifice bunt in between. Loop, this is going to do it. Here's Rodriguez around third, and he will score as Snyder gets a looping hit to right field, and the Dodgers have won it 5-4.
Corey Snyder with his third RBI of the night. A little dunk shot over the second baseman's head into right field. Third base coach Tommy Lasorda waved ahead the go-ahead, the winning run. Larry Anderson takes the loss, but the Dodgers got it all tonight. Good pitching, great pitching out of the bullpen, and clutch hitting by Corey Snyder. A little slider off the end of the bat. He flares it over the infielder's head. And there's the go-ahead from the third base coach.
Well, this game has ended, and so has the hockey game. So SportsCenter will tell you about that. Once again, the final score is the Los Angeles Dodgers 5, the Phillies 4 in 10 innings. Be sure to join us this week for ESPN Sunday Night Baseball from Anaheim when the Red Sox wrap up their West Coast swing and take on the California Angels. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. For Buck Martinez and the rest of our ESPN crew, I'm Dave Campbell. SportsCenter is coming up next. Good night, everybody.
The Phillies next visit Dodger Stadium for a fourth.
SportsCenter, on a collision course with greatness, will have the sounds of silence and the sounds of spring. Nobody's bat has been noisier than this guy's. It seems everybody wants their swings nowadays. We'll show you guys who know how to ring the bell, while this bell knows how to ring them up. And we'll take the time to show the other games. The Canadians look to rub out the Bruins, while the Sabres and Devils post an overtime thriller. So hang out and watch us on SportsCenter next.
Hello and welcome everybody, along with Steve Levy. I'm Carl Ravitch. Steve, the Metrodome seats around 55,000. Wednesday night, about 1/3 of the seats actually had people in them. I guess it could happen, so you better watch.
Really, this night was a classic night that included an NHL playoff game that needed more than a hat trick worth of overtimes to decide it. I mean, what could be better than that? You take down the hockey plexiglass, maybe the ball's juiced, maybe it isn't. Their home park, nicknamed the Homer Dome to begin with, where they've been out-homered 21-3. Couple of that with just flat-out bad pitching. And you have the Minnesota Twins staff with the league's worst ERA at 7.41. Scott Erickson has been a big part of that. His own ERA at 7.48. Opponents hitting .384 against him. He'd lost his last 3, allowing 15 runs and 15 1/3, trying to turn all of that around against the Milwaukee Brewers. Had just 1 win coming into action, facing Greg Vaughn in the second. Vaughn with a nasty slider strikes him out. Ken Herbeck beats Jose Valentin to the bag, and Erickson was rolling along. He helped out his own cause, getting Dave Nilsson starting to get interesting now. Also in the 5th, Scott Leyes bailed out by Kent Herbeck. Erickson trying to concentrate, stay calm, talk about being alone. Facing Kevin Seitzer. The rip, Herbeck knocks it down, race to the bag, and Herbeck wins that one too. Also on the 8th, facing his former battery mate of 5 years, Brian Harper. Now a Brewer, he had no chance. Brewers have just 3 outs left. Jody Reed grounded to second in the 9th. 1 away. Alex Diaz grounds to Herbeck, who came up big all night long. The next 2 batters walked. Greg Vaughn a chance to be the spoiler. Here's the call.
Fly ball left field. Alex Cole coming in. Mears going out. Cole has it. Erickson has his no-hitter.
Boy, imagine if Cole and Mears had blown that play. First Twins no-hitter since '67. They win it 6-0. Erickson struck out 5, walked 4, hit 1 on his way to the no-hitter. He had been 9-24 in his last 40 starts. Erickson was asked if this was payback for the way hitters have been treating him.
I've been out there doing the best I could, and things just weren't going my way, and I did make some bad pitches, and today I didn't feel that good actually, but not as good as I felt in other starts. I just kind of lucked out, and it worked out pretty good.
Do you realize this is the first no-hitter ever thrown at the Metrodome?
Oh well, I got lucky, I guess.
That's refreshing. The big shocker here is it's not like it's been Erickson pitching well all along. I mean, you check out some of the ratios. He's allowed 55 base runners and 38 hits in only 21 1/3. And by tossing the no-hit shutout, he took better than 2 runs off his ERA. Toronto playing at Texas. Joe Carter came to the game, 29 RBIs in the month of April. Top first, 1-0 Blue Jays. Carter singles to left. Paul Molitor beats Juan Gonzalez throw home to make it 2-0 in favor of the Jays. Carter's 30th RBI in April sets a new major league record. Bottom of the first, 2-1 Blue Jays. Doug Strange lines it to left. Carlos Delgado, the former catcher, can't make the catch. Ought to be McDowell and Jose Canseco score 3-2 Rangers. 10-2 Rangers, bottom of the 5th. Scott Brown out on the mound for the Jays. Jose Canseco to right center. Here's Devon White coming on. A great catch. But he can't double up McDowell, trying to get him back at first base. White left with a sore back, but is expected to play Thursday. Rangers won it 11-3. They win consecutive games for the first time this season. 11 of the 12 Texas hits were singles. Dean Palmer left in the 4th inning with a mild hamstring strain. April has been raining RBIs for Joe Carter. Evidently, the fractured right thumb not a factor. And we all hate the stat, but it's still a lot of fun. Did you know, at this rate, Joe Carter's on a pace to drive in 231 runs this season? Carl?
Well, some baseball history. How about some hockey history? 7 years ago, April 18th, 1987, Landover, Maryland. The Islanders and Caps and the origination of the ever-ready rabbit concept. The game that kept going and going and going into the 4th overtime. Wednesday night on the East Coast, into Thursday morning, another little pink rabbit game. This one between the Sabres and Devils, Game 6. New Jersey up 3-2 in the series. I think he said Devils. It's really the Devils. Look at Brodeur with the blocker, and then Presley with the skate into the net. No goal, disallowed. 3rd period, still scoreless, 2-on-1. And the dominator, Dominic Hasek on Stefan Richer. Overtime, Scott Stevens jumps on the loose puck, covers it up in the crease. He's called for delay of game. Stevens not happy about it. Sabres couldn't capitalize on the power play. Still scoreless after 1 into overtime number 2. No, they didn't score as it hits one post, hits the line, and another, and out. Dale Howardchuk nearly ends it. 3rd overtime. Devils rush. 4-on-2. John McClain is open and shoots high. Sabres come right back. Remember, we're in the 3rd overtime. Stand up. Shot. Save. Still 3rd overtime. Tom Chorsky. Devils, Scott Niedermayer. Is it over? No, the Dominator again. Some people hoping it would never end. It had to.
Charging after it, clear right out in front. Backhand by Hannon.
The game winner, Dave Hannon. Folks, that was in the fourth overtime. 5:43 of the fourth OT, the sixth longest game ever. That's the Sabres' first overtime win of the year. Game 7 Friday night at the Meadowlands. Buffalo has never won a Game 7 in its 24 years. The Devils had 66 shots. The Sabres 49. That's 115 combined. Remember, 15,003. Buy those tickets. It could happen. Steve?
There is no question that Jim Schoenfeld is getting more airtime here on ESPN now as coach of the Washington Capitals than he ever did when he worked here as a hockey analyst, and rightfully so. Instead of occasionally using a telestrator, he's now the biggest single reason the Caps were in position to eliminate Mario and the Penguins. Shoney, during an interview on ESPN's National Hockey Night Tuesday night, said the players will deserve the credit when we win the series. Just didn't say if it would be Game 6 or 7. Eddie Johnston telling Mario to start scoring, please. He tries. Caps up 1-0 in the first. Where's the defense? Like the Red Sea, but Don Beaupre there to make the gloves stop. Later in the first, Capitals on the power play. Michael Pavanka to John Slaney. Squeaks it by Tom Barrasso. Washington up 3-0, and the Caps are loving it. The Penguins can't believe it. What's going on here? Check out the top of your screen. Kevin Hatcher, high stick on Jaromir Jagr. The referee says, but Kev, you hit him in the mouth. What am I supposed to do? Hatcher, 5-minute, a game misconduct gone. But the offense compensated. Second period, 2-on-1 Cap. Pavanka to Dave Poulin, his second of the playoffs. And the Pittsburgh Penguins see their season come to an end. The Capitals advance to the second round. They'll take on the New York Rangers. By the way, John Druce is no longer on Washington, plays for the Kings. They're not in the playoffs. The series begins Sunday at the Garden. Penn's power play in this series, 2 for 27. All Mario would say is that he would think about hanging up the skates for good in the offseason. The Canadiens, a chance to eliminate the Bruins. Patrick Waugh, would he stand on his head in this game like he's been doing the entire series? Got some luck early. Steve Hines blows the open net. Big miss. Moments later, Brian Smolinski solves the Waugh puzzle. 1-0 Bruins to the third. 2-1 Boston. Kirk Muller blows away Joseph Stumple on the faceoff to score the goal. Beat John Casey. Game tied at 2. Time for ally of Frady's wrister. Juno who he's saying. 3-2 Bruins. Play of the game. Late in the third. Guy Carpenter the break. Feeds Turner Stevenson. Just goes over his stick. Brian Sutter's so happy he starts walking back to Boston. Patrick Waugh can't believe it. The Bruins win. Game 7 Friday night at Boston Garden and here on ESPN. The Bruins needed 33 shots in Game 5 before they could score against Waugh. And this one they scored on their second shot.
Steve, while he was boxing, it was his heart, the heart of a warrior. Now that Evander Holyfield has hung up his gloves, it's his heart again, already hospitalized with what is known as a stiff heart. Wednesday, that vital organ was found to have another flaw. Doctors at Crawford Long Hospital discovered a tiny hole in Evander's heart, one that has been there since he was born. Not life-threatening, but it will be monitored. The former heavyweight champ walked out of the hospital on his own Wednesday into the Georgia sunshine. He can't fight it anymore, but he will lead a normal life.
While I was in the game of boxing, I enjoyed and I loved. I did all that I can. Now that it's time to step in, I truly believe it's just time to just move on to something even better. And I know my trust is in God that everything will be fine.
Well, with Mike Tyson telling the world through Larry King that he plans on returning when he gets out of jail, the retirement of Holyfield leaves the heavyweight division with 3, soon to be 4 real title threats. Tyson, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, and of course, Michael Moore. No future fight plans for Moore have been set. Still to come on the show, maybe some more history, certainly some more baseball. The Padres have won 5 in a row. What's all the fighting about? And a look ahead to the NBA playoffs. Will the man-child become the man? Sports Center returns after this.
Thinking about getting a pizza? Yeah. But hey, don't get up. Call Pizza Hut. We'll deliver it. We deliver everything, from the Super Supreme with 9 delicious toppings to the legendary value Bigfoot. Bigfoot! Because we've got just the pizza you want, just the way you want it, and we'll deliver it right to your door. And for the ultimate delivery, Pizza Hut announces the ultimate meat combo, the ultimate combination of 2 types of Italian sausage, thick slices of pepperoni for a huge meaty taste. One bite, and there's no going back. Get one delivered today.
Introducing Tiger Shark personal watercraft. They just naturally get people excited.
The Lincoln Mark 8's revolutionary suspension automatically lowers the car at high speeds for better handling and less wind resistance, which raises the bar for everyone else. The Lincoln Mark 8. Trying everything else first.
New Nutrageous from Reese's. Peanuts, milk chocolate, caramel, Reese's peanut butter. New Nutrageous. Give your mouth a party.
Polaroid asked me, Sinbad needs supermodels to demonstrate the sleek, stylish Captiva camera. It holds the pictures inside the camera's special pocket till you take them out and put them in your pocket. My pocket. The Polaroid Captiva.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Polaroid Captiva. The pictures stay in until you take them out.
Well, the Indians and White Sox are tied atop the AL West, so you ask why. Well, the Indians are hitting the only team in the majors over a 300 average. The White Sox are also hitting, they're hitting it far. 37 home runs, that's tops in the majors. So good luck to Blackjack, who has had none since winning his opener, and Scott Sanderson, who has been awesome in 2 starts. What about Manny Ramirez? What about Manny? He can't track this one down as Darren Jackson takes him deep. Cora scores, so does Ventura. The White Sox lead it 7-5. Now they can hit. Can they pitch? Lance Johnson. Manny Ramirez on his horse. Manny. Catch. Trap. Yeah, they call it a catch. Ends the White Sox 12th. Bottom of the 12th, Robin Ventura makes an error on Sorrento's grounder. 2 batters later, Ramirez off Hernandez. That is mashed potatoes. A 2-run shot. Tied at 7. Still in the 12th. 1 on. White Sox ranked 13th, make another error, 13th in the league. Next batter, Mark Lewis pulls a Hernandez offering to left. That's the game-winning hit. Matt Marullo scores. The Indians win at 8-7 in 12. The Tribe ending a 6-game skid against the Sox. Wilson Alvarez, who has won his last 11 decisions, he goes for 12 on Thursday. Tigers and Royals waited in the rain for 42 minutes, and then they decided to call it a day. Apier and Belcher, the scheduled starters, rescheduled to go again on Thursday. Steve?
Well, let's take a timeout from laughing at the San Diego Padres following a Padre-like 3-14 start. They've won 4 straight, scoring a Brave-like 26 runs over that span. Their longest such streak since last August. Safe to say the Padres spent all of Tuesday night locked up in their New York hotel rooms. Phil Plantier was pacing himself for a long night. Pops it up. It's caught in the lights. Kevin McReynolds can't get to it. Plantier all the way to first. Dallas Green flashbacks to last year. Jim Riggleman not happy with Plantier's effort. Takes him out of the game. Shades of Reggie and Billy.
You're out of the game. Plus, he wants to...
Top of the 3rd. No score. Bip Roberts on first. Goes for second. Todd Hundley, the overthrow. But Roberts still on first. This is not a replay. Roberts tries for second again. Todd Hundley's throw again into the outfield. Roberts safe at second. Game tied at 2. Bottom of the 10th. Bases loaded. 1 down. Trevor Hoffman facing Jeff Kent. Second of RBIs, tied for 3rd in home runs in the league, and he strikes out. Bottom 15, still 2-2. McReynolds on second. Fernando Vina, ground ball off the foot of Phil Clark. McReynolds makes it home. 3-2 Mets in 15 in the all-important time of game department. 3 minutes shy of 5 hours. Mets blew bases loaded, 1-out situations in the 9th and 10th. 28 runners combined were left on base. The expansion Kitties playing in Florida. Gary Sheffield facing Mike Harkey. Crushes it over the left field wall. Sheffield's 8th of the year. He's got homers in 5 straight games, home games, 3 straight overall. The 2-run shot put the Marlins up 2-0 behind 7 strong innings from Charlie Huff. They go on for the win. Huff in his first 5 starts hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs. And the Marlins had some fun at the Rockies' expense, showing a Denver-type blizzard on the scoreboard with the song Let It Snow blaring. Braves and Cards were PPD'd because of rain. That didn't stop St. Louis from losing their 3rd pitcher in 4 days to injury. Real Cormier threw 18 pitches, felt some tightness and soreness in his left shoulder. MRI Thursday. Carl?
Well, winning puts people in good moods, and for the first time in a long time, there is loud music being played in the Cincinnati Reds locker room. What kind? Maybe a little Ace of Base. You know, Shaq Diesel's in there blaring away, but the light show is yellow for caution. Sure, Cincy has won 7 of 8 and have the game's best record, but anytime you come off an 89-loss season, whoa on that celebrating. Quick 2-game series in Pittsburgh. This single to center. Scores Merced. Who hit it? Pitcher Zane Smith. We're tied at 1. Smith, the hitter. Smith, the pitcher. Barry Larkin, sit. Zane Smith, the complete game win, only his second 9-inning outing for a win since '92. Smitty held the first 5 in the Reds' batting order to 1 hit in 19 at-bats. The Cubs, they have the worst record in the game in Houston. Doug Drabek looking for his 3rd straight win. Top 2, 1-0 Cubs. Steve Buechele takes Drabek out of the yard, his 4th of the year. Do the Astros have an answer? Well, listen. Andujar Cedeno crushed Tomatoes. 443 feet. Look at the guys in the stands. Where is it? His 5th of the year. Bottom of the 4th, 5-1 Cubs. Ken Caminiti batting. And he takes one down the line and out. A 3-run shot off Banks. BGO Gonzalez score, his 2nd of the year. 5-4 Cubs. Astros add on and win it by a score of 8-5. That's the final. Shane Reynolds get his first win in 2 years. Of the Astros, 27 home runs this season. 26 have come in the last 16 games. Gonzalez 3 for 3 in the game. He's now hitting .571 in the last 5 games. Giants and Expos from Montreal playing along. Pedro Martinez. It's you make the call time. 1-1 in the 2nd, single to left. Will Barry Bonds, A, nail the runner at the plate, or B, kick it like Pele? World Cup soccer reference, A, wrong answer, B, correct. Try again. Ken Hill, Darren Lewis. Baltimore chop. Will Lewis charge the mound? Or B, watch Mike Lansing pull off the barehanded play? B is the winner again. If you said B, you're an Expo head. Get to the doctors. Expos win it 7-1. Ken Hill finishes up the month of April 4-1. Steve, over the last 3 Aprils, his record is 10-1. Rod Beck did throw in the sidelines, and he appears to be ready.
Still ahead on SportsCenter, there's more from the ballpark. Sometimes you give it your all, and sometimes even that isn't enough. And also ahead, we'll look ahead of the first round of the NBA playoffs that start on Thursday.
Did someone say jam session?
It's awesome dunks. Oh! It's thunderous stops.
Oh, yes.
It's NBA action and excitement that only a jam session can provide. Get ready for an incredible offer from Sports Illustrated. You'll see unbelievable NBA action set to the beat of today's hottest music in the NBA Jam Session video. And you'll also get an officially licensed NBA cap featuring the team of your choice. And best of all, both gifts are absolutely free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Whoa! Call right now for 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, all for just $1.39 an issue. You save over 52% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Gone! Don't miss out. Call now for your free NBA Jam Session video and your free team cap. There's nothing in the world like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
It can't. 5-4 in 10 innings. Interesting to note, Snyder, his first ever start at